Hello, everyone. How are you today? Can everybody hear me? Yes. Everybody can hear me? That's perfect. I hope that you're doing well. I'm doing pretty okay today. I feel like it's been pretty all right so far. Like I could complain, but I'm not going to. At least not right up top, you know? All right, I'm getting my hair together. Let me get on my screens how I want them oriented. Here we go. So what's up? We got Baphomet in here. We got Winter Nightmare, Halfling Rogue. How are we doing today? Decoy Duck. What is up, y'all? Got the Morningstar system. Hey. And I think that's everybody in the, excuse me, everybody in the website chat. This always happens to me. It's too early in the day. My voice is all weird. We have Lauren in the YouTube chat and Void Spaghetti Girl, But All Is Lost, Mars Hall, Spacer's Choice. Hello. Void Spaghetti says, I'm feeling redacted. That sounds like a bad thing. I'm sorry that you're not having a good day so far. I feel like... So yesterday, I guess I should say, the bed that I purchased while I was hanging out with you all on Thursday night came. And, like, it's technically supposed to be... It's supposed to be, like, 48 hours before the bed is totally fluffed out, you know? Because there is a foam layer involved. But I slept on it anyway, even if I wasn't supposed to, because I was like, look, listen, I'm having a really tough time here. So it's definitely going to take a little bit of getting used to, and it's still not the bed of my dreams, you know? But thank you guys so much for helping me get that, because I needed it. I needed it for sure. I slept better last night, and I'm sure it'll continue to get better as I get used to it. We have even more people popping in the YouTube chat. Hello. We got James, Speedy Shimeji, just on break. I'm just on break at work, but I'd like you all to know that I read the title as Ant Stream. We could technically do Ant content. It's the great thing about my partner having so many eclectic hobbies is that it means that even if it's not something that I'm particularly interested in, I still end up learning a lot about it, because my partner, you know, will like info dump about stuff. And this has resulted in me getting my own hobbies, right? Like I have stolen hobbies from my partner and like started doing that, like the isopods, the roly-polies. That's something I stole from my partner. Hey, Gayfesh, good morning. Yeah, I guess just now it's good afternoon where I'm at. It is good morning where you are. Hello. Yeah, glad the new bed is helping your sleep. Yeah, I'm hoping that I get even more used to it. But then in like a couple of months, I'm hoping my credit is good enough that I can get the ideal bed, the one that I was trying to get before, that I'm gonna have to get on a payment plan for. And then I'll have that bed for like... I'll give it to my brother when he turns 18 or something, you know? Also, Ashley Gay, hello. Chazardus? What's up? I'm glad people are watching while they're at work. It's fun. The idea for the Sunday streams is that I normally stream starting at 6 p.m. my time, and like, you know, I have friends in the UK where it would be midnight when I start my streams during the week. So part of the idea here is that on Sundays, I can start earlier and get like the weekend crowd in the US during the day, and have a night where people over in Europe actually can watch during their evening and come hang out with us. I love giant isopods. They are the cutest of giant crustaceans. I don't know if I am a huge fan of the big ones. I mean, they're fine. But the little ones, I do like the giant of the little ones. That's true. I will say. When you got a bunch of them that are like all roughly the same size range, and then you get one that's like a big fucking chonker, and you're like, oh, Lord, he coming, you know? Yep. It's 1900 here, so that's fetch. Fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen, okay? What's up, Mersh? How we doing? And we also got P to G. Hello. AB Tron. What is up? Yeah, nothing like a good night's sleep to help you feel better all the way around. When I was a kid, I held an isopod as it gave birth. That's how I learned they give live birth. That's cool. I don't think I've ever witnessed any of my isopods giving birth. I have witnessed them shedding their exoskeletons, and I've witnessed that for both the top half and the bottom half. They break it off in two halves when they're molting or whatever the fuck you call it. So I've seen them taking their shirt off, and I've seen them taking their pants off. That's what they call it in the community. Very sophisticated, the isopod community. But yeah, they do give live birth, and they also sometimes die chest burster style while they're giving live birth. Sometimes you'll find a dead one that has a very obvious like rent in its chest. We need a new diagram for how isopods would wear pants. Yeah, true. Absolutely. Slaps Hungry Bear says, hi, but is going to sit this one out today. She isn't feeling good because our mattress is starting to die and our backs are paying the cost. Listen, I completely understand that. Absolutely, completely understand that. I highly suggest looking into getting a new mattress if you have decent credit and you can afford like $100 a month payment plan type thing. That's like what I'm hoping to get into. If I can afford that in a couple months, we'll see. January is my first full month in my place, so we will find out if this is tenable for me to do this job and live in a place by myself. We'll see. We need a new one, but we have shit credit. Going to get a new foam topper for the meantime. That does help, in my experience. That does actually give some life to an old mattress. So today, we're just going to be basically chilling. I mean, we may discuss the queer discourse. I can see that being something that we might talk about. You all familiar with this? We're doing yet another round of, is the Guardian article the reason why we're having this conversation again? Was that where this whole thing started over the last couple of days, where we're talking about like whether or not you should call the community like the queer community, or like, oh, you should be really sensitive to people who don't want to be called queer. Like, it's weird how much it stunts. I feel like it stunts my conversation a little bit. As I'm like, I'm so accustomed to saying queer community. Like, I have to really focus if I'm talking to someone who doesn't like the word queer. I'm like, our community, the LGBT community. It's very irritating to me. Guardian article has been trying to urge people not to use the word queer, and TERFs are chiming in, etc. What's up, a creature of the Fae? And also Super Dr. Hulock. Hello, good morning or afternoon, whatever the fuck time it is. So, and also, it's weird too how this, now that I'm on multiple platforms, I used to kind of just primarily be on Twitter. If I'll be honest with you, I am a big Twitter person. Like, I like it there. I genuinely, I don't anymore because it sucks now. But for a long time, I really liked Twitter, and that was kind of like my main place. And I would go to Facebook a little bit, but Facebook is also, the way that the algorithm on Facebook works, it fucking sucks. Like, it sucks to not see the people that I want to see just because we're talking about different stuff. Does that make sense? It's very stupid. But now that I'm on multiple platforms, I'll see it on, I'm like, oh, okay, so here on Twitter, we're talking about the weird queer, but now I'm over on Reddit. Actually, I think primarily right now, like this is the social media that I've been spending the most time on recently, I would say. Partially because you have the fucking custom feeds. Like, I can be like, oh, I'm wasting some time looking at my main feed, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I really want to see what the news is like today, and I'll go to my little custom feed that has the news on it. I really hope Twitter survives Elon. Me too. Like, I don't know. Every website, you kind of have to learn the flavor of what you post there. You know? Like, if I was like shit posting this morning about like, I went on Twitter, and I'm like, today's definitely one of those days where when you wish there was someone around. You're like, you're in bed, You don't want to get out of bed and you wish there was someone around to play your butt cheeks like a bongo. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to post this on Twitter because Twitter is a place where you can shit post stuff like this. Like, I guess I'm like, yeah, I don't think there's anywhere else where I could say that. There's like a freedom on Twitter that you don't experience anywhere else. Yeah. Is Mastodon that kind of... I feel like Mastodon is probably the thing that's closest to Twitter. And I the only reason why I haven't joined it yet is because people made it seem like really hard to figure out and set up. So I'm just like kind of resistant to setting it up. I just treat Masto like a new Twitter. Okay. And I'm probably just going to join Collectiva since there are so many cool people there. Mastodon isn't hard at all. It's just obtuse. Okay, I don't know what that means. Anyway, there are some good what the fuck subs on Reddit. Yeah, I am subscribed to a huge number of Reddits. I realized when I joined, like when I made this new account, that I have like a huge eclectic range of interests. So, and I've got like silly wholesome shit on this in almost equal measure to serious shit. Like I have like Ask Culinary and fucking botanical porn and fucking FTM femininity, you know, like a lot of different ones. If you join Collectiva, then like congrats, you're on Mastodon. Mastodon needs far more streamlined onboarding process to explain it to new users. I'm sure I could find a video or a WikiHow explaining it or something. What's up, Anansi? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. Transgender Circle Jerk is surprisingly one of my favorite subs. Let's see. I am in so many different subs that start with the word trans. I am in trans, which I think is a meme board. I'm in r/trans, transgender, transgender surgery, trans mask memes, trans positive, trans socialism. That's all of them so far, I guess. It's morning as fuck, only an hour behind you. Okay, it's afternoon now for me, so. Reddit is where I go to talk MCU without people posting soy jacks at me. Yeah, absolutely. BRB joining r/trans socialism. I love Reddit. Reddit is like if Facebook was only the groups. And like I don't have to go to the individual groups specifically. Like if there was just a groups feed on Facebook, which I still use Facebook because of like, mostly because of trans surgery and stuff. Gone Wild Trans. I don't think I'm on that one. Surreal Tra. Okay. I have so many Reddits already, y'all. And you know what's interesting is that I end up... Part of the reason why this is an Am I the Asshole stream is because I spend probably the most of my time on Reddit getting caught up reading Am I the Asshole? Which means I think that I need to remove it from my feed. like I think that I need to remove it from my main feed. And maybe that's something that I go searching for specifically when I'm in the mood for, because I do think that it's going to end up dominating a lot of my time on this website. Surreal Tra. Okay, what is this? Lean into it for content. I think it's weird. Like it has occurred to me, like, is that not like almost a kind of theft to like, I get it's like you're using free content on Reddit and then making videos where you're like, cause I, and I'm here streaming. I wasn't gonna put this on the channel. It just seems weird. I used to get caught up in r/raised by narcissists was kind of problematic for me. I was like, let me read all these horrible parent stories. Oh yeah, I would find that really triggering, I think. r/NB Enterprise. Y'all, all these Reddits that you want me to check out, you need to go to the Discord and post them in the channel called Stream Chat. Stream Chat. Because otherwise I am not going to get to all of them. But yeah, I wasn't planning on posting this to the main channel because I do think that people, I think on the streams, we do this like chill environment. But I think that on my channel, the videos, like people still really expect that political content from me. And I would need to maybe shift more lighthearted content to a second channel. But it's a bummer to shift content to a second channel because I don't make money on a second channel until it has 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of watch time. So that's kind of not like worth doing right now. It's worth it to do them on stream for sure. Gone Wild Trans only if you want to get thirsty. Oh, is Gone Wild Trans for the prawn? You should not check out some of these on stream. I mean, yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna check any of them out on stream. I was just like gonna I was gonna follow some of these while we're sitting here talking about it. But now there's too many for me to try to figure out how to like type them in, find them while talking to you at the same time. Listen, it's a little bit too much. We've kind of fallen off Reddit a little bit after getting banned from r/tra for saying that a semi-famous trans artist isn't a predator. Oh, I think I know who you mean. The Sophie LaBelle, is that her name? Yeah. I really didn't get that. I think that people are just really quick to demonize anything that trans women do. Anyway, so as I was saying earlier, this is going to be a chill hangout stream the entire time, which means if you're hanging out and you're having fun and you're enjoying the chill vibes, you should hit the like button so that then other people will join our hangout. I want to see how many people we can get on chill streams. It's not like, oh, there's a political thing in the title, but we're trying to get people to hang out for the first hour. No, we're hanging out only. Please hit the like button. With Reddit, I found out that random people will DM trying to debate you if you post anything remotely political. I just ignore them mostly because I don't have time to convert everyone to stop being a dick. I mean, fair enough. I pre-liked the stream. Hell yeah. I gotta drink. I got coffee and water. I just can't decide which one to hit sometimes. See, we got like 5 likes and then we got like 4 more viewers popped in right immediately because that's how it works. Every single time we get like a couple of likes at the same time, we get a couple more viewers immediately afterward. It's weird how that works. But hit coffee because it has water in it. I mean, yeah, but it also has sugar in it. And sugar is not going to help you at all. So I did find, I guess this is the part of the stream where I talk about the queer discourse, and then we'll move on to something less stupid in a bit. But like, I am on Reddit, and I followed, what is it? It was r/LGBT, I think it was. That's the one that I was on. And someone asked about the queer discourse. Girl, where are you? There it is. I think probably the best way to find this is going to be to go through my notifications. Okay, because like, as I was saying before, you start to see the discourse cropping up on multiple different platforms if you're on different platforms. You can see all of it. What's up, Sweet Dream? We had a post on r/LGBT. This person said, I feel like I need to say this. Not all LGBTQ plus people want to be called queer, and it's okay, which is very funny. You needed to take this Q out of there, if that was what you were trying to say. But then they're like, recently I saw a post that said the person was downvoted and given a lot of backlash on this sub itself just because they didn't want to call themselves queer. Many gender, romantic, and sexual minority people who are part of our community don't want to be called queer because it's been used against us, or they have personal discomfort from using it. I know for many of us it's been reclaimed and all, but many people won't, and it's okay. I know it's in the acronym LGBTQ plus itself, between need to understand others. I don't know what that means. For me personally, I'm okay with being called queer. If you aren't, then that's okay too. So yeah, I mean, the discourse is happening all across the internet. And I did weigh in. On this. And in the process of weighing in on this, I found that, so I always thought of Reddit as a non-SJW space. Like, I guess I kind of always thought of Reddit as being like 4chan, but less overtly bigoted. Like 4chan, but more for like normies and edgy people, and instead of just like super fashy, weird incels, which is kind of what 4chan has come to be associated with, right? Oh, but we need to understand instead of between need to. Okay, that's probably true. Yeah, so I found some tender queers. That's right, Mersh. I didn't realize that there were going to be that, but there were. Where is this person's comment? I had someone get real salty with me. I have such a difficult time navigating this website. Like, how show parent comments? Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, cool. Found it. I figured out how to navigate this website. Great. So I was basically like, I think it's weird to feel this way because most of us grew up with gay being the primary pejorative. The people who did grow up when queer was the main pejorative have almost unilaterally reclaimed it to the point that that's the official word for the academic study. It seems like stolen valor for millennials and Gen Z to get weird about this term. Like, I was just like pretty straightforward with this, and the person who commented, the only comment in response so far is this person who starts by saying like, I'm glad that you get to decide what's best for us and what we should be called since you know better. This is a very arrogant and self-centered take. The literal definition of queer has always been strange, odd. That's why it was first applied to LGBT. It's like, so to be honest, that right there, just now, talking to you, was the first time that I've even read past the first sentence of that comment. Like, I read the first sentence, and then I skipped to the end paragraph where this person says, like, you know, basically they wrap up by saying, like, how is this any different from the TERFs that you're accusing, whatever. Like, I just didn't bother to read most of their comment because it was so reactionary. So on account of the fact that I didn't really read most of what they actually said, all I said in response was just like, I didn't tell anyone to accept any labels. Like, I said you should consider your discomfort within context, and your defensiveness kind of says a lot. After watching your video about genderqueer, I thought I probably fitted the definition, but after hearing shit like this, maybe no. I mean, like, genderqueers are insufferable. Like, that's part of what makes their behavior noteworthy, is like they don't just fight for a cause, and they don't even really fight for a cause. Like, that's part of the problem, is that they just kind of bitch about shit that doesn't matter. DBH, my view has become that LGBT plus is what you are and queer is what you stand for. I haven't really met folks who call themselves queer who aren't actively trying to change things, actively break the systems of oppression. Plenty of folks who are LGBT are bigoted fucks. Haven't really met folks who self-describe as queer who are that against the community. I think that's probably fair, because I also have started to view queer as being like, it's not just, what's up, Andes? We're talking about queer discourse. Queer to me is not just about, it's not just about being gay or like being, like I guess queer I use in two different ways, because I do use queer community as a broad way of saying, oh, hey, you know, all of the LGBTQIA2 plus people, all of those things. I use queer as a catch-all for that, and queer as a political label, I guess, if that's like to distinguish. I am not a cis gay white male who is advocating for the right to join the military and to have a nuclear family with a house with a white picket fence, you know, like the assimilationism is something that I definitely have a problem with ideologically. So, but that's not usually what the argument is here. When people are like, oh, yeah, wait, you aren't. When people are like saying that they don't want to be called queer, they usually invoke like queer bashing, I guess. But truly, like of the people here in chat, I know that we have like a decent age range here. How many of you grew up in a time or a place where queer was used as a slur or maybe not even used as a slur, but like as a pejorative? Like, versus how many of you grew up in a environment or a place where people used gay as a slur or a pejorative or a negative? And like, of those two words, I'm assuming that most of you heard both, but which one did you hear more? Because I heard gay more than any other word to mean like that's dumb or that sucks, you know? Heard gay used as a slur a lot when I was younger. Queer, not so much, maybe once or twice. I didn't hear the word queer in that way when I was younger. But I know that like that may be more common in like Baptist communities, because I know Baptists will say the queers and you'll hear it in that way. So it does matter where you grew up. Like I just want to acknowledge that aspect. I heard gay is the most prominent slur growing up. Gay was definitely more common. I'm from the gay slur era, but probably due to country, I never had the negative association with queer. Like when I heard the word queer, it was almost always in context of like, we're queer, we are here, we are queer, get used to it. Like I would see it associated with that activism and not as a slur, right? Queer wasn't a slut, yeah. Typos in the YouTube chat. Isn't queer just not meeting social standards and including more than sex, gender, and sexuality? I think that queer, the way a lot of us use it nowadays, is partially to imply like a subversion of social standards, like an intentional refusal to assimilate to the social standard. A fag was just an annoying person and queer was mainly something older folks told me I was acting like. Oh, really? Wow. I grew up in the 70s, 80s. I was called queer and gay about equally. Also called dyke and butch with curse words. I knew that if you were older, you would probably hear queer more. But, like, I'm about to be 30 next year. And, like, I didn't grow up with queer being the bad word. When talking to normies, I usually just say LGBT+. I can't be fucking asked to do that. Like, I won't do that. My dad used it as a general slur/curse. I remember there was a TV show called Queer as Folk that wasn't considered beyond the pale. And its title was not notable. Oh, the title was notable. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. The first time I heard the word queer, my mom talking about how people are calling themselves queer and she finds that really uncomfortable. I never experienced it as a slur. So you were exposed to it through someone else talking about their discomfort with other people reclaiming it. That's so many degrees of separation. Ah, the get used to it chance. Might need to bring that back. True. I think that I want to hit it that way. I say it like LMNOP in the alphabet now, so it's not much of a hassle. I mean, like, LGBTQ, like, it's just still too much, like, LGBT, it's like, and you also gotta like LGBTQIA plus. I'm like, no, queer. Thank you. And so here's my other aspect to the argument. I think that queer is a more uniting label. So like, it's not just the linguistic ease. I do genuinely think that it's also just a more uniting label where we can, like, I don't like all the myopic labels personally. And I don't know if that's just me. I don't really like to get into the nitty gritty and like, I'm trans and non-binary transmasculine, and today I'm a demi-boy. Like, I just find that shit really frustrating. I would rather use like more cohesive language, because I think that there is an amount of division that occurs when a community that is aligned politically has to have so many little, like, your personal labels are important for you to describe yourself, for sure. But like, politically, I think that we should be not focused on the distinctions between us. Like, what is the difference between a trans woman and a femboy? Like, this is a waste of time. I don't want to do this anymore. Or even at this point, I would say, like, what is the difference between a gender nonconforming person and a non-binary person? Like, I don't know. I don't care anymore. Gender all, identifying as genderqueer without actually saying queer, that's a fucking nightmare, and I hate it. Yeah, exactly, Timerini. I don't like to create fractions between groups who can share goals and intent and fight against oppression. Differentiation has some use, but it doesn't need to be a focal point. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh. So, I think one of the things that I want to do today is I would like you all to, if you have any like favorites, and so I'm not limited to Am I the Asshole threads. That's not my only limitation here. I'm like, I just haven't, I guess I didn't follow r/relationships, even though I see posts on Twitter frequently that are very funny from r/relationships. But if you have like any suggestions for classics or whatever, like if there are any that you thought were really, like, this is a Reddit history moment or something like that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like start scrolling through and see if we can find some silly shit to comment on. I'm feeling kind of euphoric right now, as though I just took a shot of vodka an hour ago. Weird. That's strange, but it's good. I mean, I hope so. Timerania says, I would like you all to hit that like button. That's true. Oh my God, excuse me. The cylinder discourse with the M&M tube? Oh no. I don't know what that is. I felt like genderqueer meant both male and female, and non-binary meant neither of them, or am I wrong? Genderqueer was the term that we used before the term non-binary became popular. Like, I identified as genderqueer before I identified as non-binary, because it also, and genderqueer was also this word that kind of encompassed like gender nonconforming people and people with what we would now call non-binary gender identities. Like, that's what I first called myself. And also like I felt that genderqueer was the quintessential word for my gender identity being like fundamentally different to being a man or a woman, you know? So yeah. Non-binary is just a broad term that means any gender that is not explicitly and only a man or a woman. Like if you're gender fluid and you're a man sometimes and a woman sometimes, that's non-binary because you're not one of them exclusively all the time. Right, yeah, non-binary 10 years ago was less known. Exactly, Tabaxi. What's up? What's up, Penrose? I fucking love genderqueer. That's the term I resonate with the most personally. I used it for a really long time, but I don't think I had been resonating with it for a long time. And I don't really resonate with any gender labels. Like, well, yeah, I mean, like, I just have spent a lot of time thinking about it, and like, not on purpose, but like, it occurs to me to wonder what words I should be using. And I'm like, I don't want to think about this anymore. And the way that I quell that now is like, I actually feel the most gender euphoria when I'm like using slurs. Like, I don't know. That's what, and like, the more mixed the gender words are, you know, like, I'm a boy dyke today, or a girl fag. Like, the more you like cross those lines, the happier I am. True. That's why I started using it. Someone on Kiwi Farms called me it, and I was like, ooh, I like that. Yeah, I like it also both because like, I'm just a little guy, and also like, I do think that I could genuinely be quite terrifying if I really let myself. So, and Jolly says, I'd love to see Chariot just chat with Lux. On Jolly, I have chatted with Chariot like 3 different times on stream. Like, I think like some of them were from before I was regularly streaming. But yeah, I have to. And actually, Chariot did hit me up recently and say that she wanted to have me on about a specific topic. So I should get a hold of her about that, because that could be cool. She streams most every day, so it would be pretty easy, I think, to schedule. My girlfriend is the only person who's ever called me F-slur, and I'm low-key embarrassed about how much I like it. I have not asked my partner to do any participation in this, and I am not sure how it would go if I asked. We're talking about neopronouns, which I hate. Do you hate neopronouns? We weren't really talking about... are idits considered like, some people say idits aren't neopronouns, and some people say that idits is neopronouns, and like, I don't know. Do people use mogai genders? I don't... what were they? I don't remember mogai. I mean, I remember the word mogai, but I don't remember what it's for. Idits pronouns aren't neopronouns because they aren't new. I thought that maybe they were being considered neopronouns because they have not been used on purpose for an individual this way before. Yeah, Morningstar System. I find it difficult to push the matter in person for the idits pronouns. I mean, I agree with you, Gayfesh. Yeah, neopronouns is pronouns that are literally recently invented. Oh, gosh. Fuck those adjectives, though. True. I'm a gender abolitionist, so neopronouns are my natural enemy. That's funny. That's funny. Wow. There are like 67 people in here for a hangout stream, which I appreciate. If you're here and you haven't yet hit the like button, consider hitting the like button over there on the YouTube page. And if you're in the YouTube chat, hanging out in the YouTube chat, click the top link in the description and hop over to the website. This over here, this is not Twitch. This is my website, luxander.net/live, where we have custom emojis, and you can finance the show directly instead of using Google's weird system where they take 30% of your money. The word it literally predates modern English. I did not know that. But I like the word it. Like, it's just also very interesting. Like, have you ever considered that there's a part of speech, like, it's raining? What is it? Like, what is that part of speech? It's raining. It's windy. What is it? I have kind of an interesting question, and I hope it's not inappropriate for stream right now. If an autistic person was traumatized into masking their behavior, would unmasking be considered exposure therapy? Exposure therapy is a specific process. So I think that, I mean, it could be considered a yeah. So exposure therapy isn't just what you do in therapy. It also has to do with dealing with shit outside of that context. So you would be in the therapeutic sessions, like going over specific triggers and memories. And then outside of therapy, it may be like the secondary aspect of it is that you try to engage in some way with the triggering thing. Like you might have a therapist who like has you do a little bit of both, but I would say be careful to just do anything that's exposure therapy adjacent without guidance. Yeah. Smash that like button like it was never smashed before. Consensually smash that like button. True. Y'all have to let me know, by the way, if there are like ever stream hiccups or like if it's regular for the stream to be like taking a second to load and things like that. Because I'm still, it's like a new place. I'm supposed to be getting the good internet, but if it's not good internet, I might have to call them. Okay? You have to tell me. Good so far? Okay, good. I wanted to try EMDR. Yeah, EMDR is kind of like prolonged exposure, but it's, I guess, like a little bit more targeted toward specific individual memories. I'm not sure. I thought some people said that neopronouns have been a thing for ages, or did they mean the idea of making alternate pronouns? I mean, Flynn, it depends on which, what's up, Kate Matt? Hey, Kate, are you Kate from Twitter? Like I follow you on Twitter? What's up? Has anyone seen The Last Puss in Boots? I have not seen it yet. But so yes, certain neopronouns have been invented a long time ago. Like the Spivak pronouns were invented in the 1910s, I want to say, or earlier than that. Spivak pronouns. When were they? And Spivaks are just like, it's like they, them, and their, but you drop off the TH, so it's just A-M-R, spelled like that. Hey, yeah, what's up, Kate? How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day today. Yeah, when were the Spivaks? These. So there's a certain versions of them have come up at different times. This one's 1975. We had this version of it in 1890. And then there are like more recent versions. Interesting that it doesn't say the origin of, like, isn't she an older pronoun than he, right? Like, she came first. Hey, that's usually a good thing. I'm gonna kill myself. Don't worry about it. Always seem to miss the live stream, so it's cool to check it out. Well, yeah, it's good to have you in here. Yeah, a lot of the time I'm streaming toward the evening, and I know people got, like, they got dinner, and they got, like, family shit to deal with. I'm all right with someone having it pronouns so long as they're all right with me never naturally being able to say it in reference to another person naturally. I mean, it just takes practice. It's like anything else. I'm sure that a lot of us experienced some difficulty with they pronouns. Like, I'm not even going to lie and say that I wasn't one of those people who had problems using they pronouns for very specific individuals at first, and even getting used to it for myself and everything. So it's just a matter of getting used to it. Love it when she comes first, TBH. True. Its pronouns are clunky at first, but I could get used to it. I just need to do it out loud more. I think that's the part where, because I can get it right when I'm typing. I'll be like, oh yeah. Like, I'll be thinking about, like, I don't know, dough or gay fesh or something. Like, I should, basically anybody who you know who uses the weird set of pronouns that you have a difficult time with, you should make an active effort to like use that set of pronouns. Like Gayfesh uses they and it, and so like I could use they because that's easier, but then I wouldn't be getting used to saying it. Oh, he/it. Okay. I thought they was in the mix at one point. But either he or it. Like, you should use the one that's going to be harder so that you get more practice in. Not as much of a fan of they anymore. Okay, cool. Thank you for update. I struggled with they for a while, especially with people who aren't androgynous like Sam Smith, but it gets easier as you get used to it. For sure. Yeah. Okay, so if you all have any links to any Reddit Am I the Asshole or r/relationships or anything like that that you think that we should do today, feel free to drop the links in the chat here. Yes. And then I'm going to run and pee, frankly, because I've been drinking a lot of water this morning. So I'll be back momentarily. Hit the like button. Drop any links if you got them. And we're just going to fucking find something on Am I the Asshole to read through. Okay? Oh my God, my feet. All right. I'll be back momentarily. Be good. Hello. I'm back. Oh. Luxander is doing a live stream today. It's going to discuss gender pronouns. Yep. I mean, basically, that's how it goes. Ay. Lux should get a piss closet like Vaush has. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Vaush has a piss closet because of the roommates, right? I bumped my desk right as your camera started shaking, and I was like, oh, whoops, did I do that? We have it's even better than smell-o-vision. Oh my God, excuse me. Holy shit. Oh, no worries. Super Dr. Hulock / Finn. Hail hydrate. Is it okay to ask why a person is comfortable with certain pronouns? Like Conyer uses any and all. Is it okay to ask, is it because you don't want to be misgendered? I mean, I don't know that there is even a reason most of the time. Like, why do I prefer it? It's, I don't know. Because I do. Because I like it. It's easy for me to practice Z0 pronouns because I have friends with those. If I had more friends with its pronouns, I'm guessing that it would be easier. I can practice with Luxander, though. True. All right. What is this about? What is this? I gotta close some of my excess Reddit tabs right now because I don't need all these open. Oh, this is classic. Okay, I guess this is like classic. It's only 1 month ago though. Is it closed because it's a repeat? I do think it's funny that there are like moderation rules for repeats. How would you get a small cylinder, 5.1 inch in length, approximately 4.5 inches in girth, unstuck from a mini M&M's tube filled with butter and microwaved mashed banana? Oh no. How did you get it in there? Like, how did you get it in there in the first place? A mini M&M's tube is like that big. And like, this is like a girthy, you know, normal. How did you do that? I don't understand. That's determination. A cylinder, not a dick. Get your mind out of the gutter. I mean, how could I read into that? It's terrible. It's a cylinder, 5.1 inches in length and 4.5 inches in girth. Like, my bad. It's just a cylinder. Oh my god, this is awful. Yeah, right. Andy's Mince Turf tries to dehumanize trans person. Joke's on you. I dehumanize myself. I can't risk power tools damaging the interior cylinder. That's no small cylinder. It sounds like a perfectly adequate cylinder to me. Average size, you might say. And then OP says, yes, thank you, but that may be part of the problem. Oh, God. Oh, man. That was worth it. That was worth it. Thank you for linking that to me, Decoy Duck. That was great. The stupid, sexy green M&M. Oh, my gosh. Reddit has amazing memes sometimes. Was this Tucker Carlson? Oh, my God. I feel like, I guess Am I the Assholes are not usually funny. I do think like funny stories subreddit would probably be good to incorporate in this kind of stream, because I don't want to just be frustrated. What is the M&M discourse? Is it because they made the green M&M less fuckable? Was it because they put her in trainers instead of like high heels? Is that what they're still bitching about? We were bitching about this months ago. Green M&M is nothing compared to the step on me mommy energy that the brown M&Ms give. True. I know the green M&M is still fuckable. It's truly that they made a cartoon candy less fuckable that they're screeching about. Oh my God. They did something else woke since then. Okay, it's a new thing. Yeah, Spacer's Choice. That's what I was thinking. But nobody's talking about how yellow M&M is perfect boyfriend material. Himbo energy. Stupid sexy candies. One of them is now a lesbian or something. Was it not obvious to everyone that the brown M&M was a lesbian? A BRB just gonna check out some M&M R34. True. The purple M&M is making them upset. They associate it with queer people and the fact that it is female and bigger, like it has a peanut in it. So a peanut M&M that's purple that says, I just want to be me, and everybody's mad about it. Right, Flynn, I wish my only problem in life was thinking about cartoon candies. She's trans? Is it like voiced by a trans person? Purple M&M. Oh, I know the green M&M. Yeah, for sure. The green M&M used to be a peanut M&M and a male peanut M&M. Why are people mad at her? I'm Googling it to see what the people are mad about. Purple is designed to represent acceptance and inclusivity. I know, what the fuck is this timeline, soy boy? Purple M&M is a fun addition to the candy crew, but you won't find her on store shelves. If there's one vintage candy that's always innovating, it's M&M's. Blah, 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 blah. There's no purple M&M's in the bags. The fudge brownie flavor comes in a light purple bag. The dark chocolate variety comes in a royal purple bag, and caramel M&M's come in, but none of them has purple M&M's. Despite the introduction of the purple M&M, there's not going to be a one in the bag. Why are they doing this? Designed to represent acceptance and inclusivity, she is charming and quirky, wears trendy lace-up boots, and is known for her earnest self-authenticity and confidence. And there's a song that she does called I'm Just Gonna Be Me, voiced by Amber Ruffin, author, comedian, host of The Amber Ruffin Show, and writer for Late Night with Seth Meyers. I don't know who she is. Who is that? Okay. She's an American comedian, television host, writer, and actress. She hosts her own late night talk show. Cool. I feel like I've seen her before. I mean, she's on TV, probably. I've seen her before. So, I don't know why they mad. Yeah, they created a mascot who won't even represent the product. Like, why? Bye, Winter Nightmare. Go support your friends. Thank you. Do they do this marketing in countries where it's illegal to be queer? Probably not. That's why they have to be vague. They like, in order to continue advertising in fucking China or whatever, they have to be like, oh, I'm proud to be me. I'm proud to be different. But it's like, different how? I am proud to be not like everyone else. Like, okay, but in what way are you not like everyone else? Stop asking, like that's kind of the vibe. Exactly, Gayfesh. That's why all queer Disney characters are only queer in 2-second segments that can easily be cut for the foreign market. I want to buy purple M&Ms. What the fuck? I feel like it would make your poops weird colors. The whole time the peanut was the dick of the M&M. No, it's the nuts. It's the nuts. Yeah. They can't be like, yo, I had my nut removed. Yes, queen. Purple poops. You don't want purple poops. It's pink capitalism. They don't actually care about us. They just want us to spend money on their product. It's rainbow capitalism in this case, right? Pink capitalism would be when it's women. Is it super fucking windy? It seems like it's been super windy like all the time for the past like 6 months. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if we can find some Am I the Assholes to read and finally get to the point of this stream. Hit like if you're enjoying hanging out. Consider dropping me $1 donation or something, because I'm providing like a cool place to hang out. I don't know. Because I deserve it. To help pay the bills. Yeah, I don't know what the dick of the M&M is. Enjoy, Baphomet. I hope that you get dopamine from cleaning. Gib money's true. Yes. It's that time of the month where we're going to see, because I have some bills on auto pay, like, we're going to see if I can pay my rent in a few weeks. That's like, we're just going to be really regular with our stream schedule and hope that we can pay rent this month. Oh, I need a little coffee too. Let's see. Do we have any good Am I the Assholes? Sort by best all time. Can you do that? I was just gonna see what's hot recently. I never was on Quora though. Yeah, I think that Quora it's definitely like a little bit of the wild, wild west of the internet. Quora, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Halfling Rogue, thank you. Thank you for the $10 dono. I'm enjoying this chill stream today. I appreciate that. I'm also enjoying this chill stream today. I like the low press rap sesh that we're doing. It's very enjoyable. Thank you. Sort by controversial. Can you do that? I doubt that you can. M&M's is owned by the Mars family. They're very rich, but they seem pretty sensible. They aren't radical, and they would be nice to our community if it would not cause them too much backlash in business. They're not nuts like the My Pillow guy, etc. Wasn't there like a My Pillow guy, and then it ended up being like, and then David Hogg like made a rival company? Like, why? Yeah, I switched to top to see if that would help me. Chum Guzzler with a $20 dono says, pretend I said something witty. Ah ha ha, that was so funny. I was going to be a lot louder, and then I was like, it's the middle of the day on a Sunday. I'm not going to like shout this laugh. That's what I almost did. I almost shouted that laugh. And then I decided I would be a good neighbor and not piss everybody off. It's bad enough with how creaky my floor is. David Hogg can be cringe sometimes. I mean, David Hogg went through a horrendously traumatic event at a very sensitive age, so I get it, you know? But I can sort by controversial. How do you, wait, what? Does that mean like the ones that have a lot of different votes? Most of these are, they've already decided that the person is the asshole. Thing with the most down votes. Okay. I think the ones with the most down votes are also going to be the ones that are just like, this person is decidedly the asshole. And I don't want to get stuck there. Okay, let's just start here. The thread has been locked by the moderators. No comments can be no new comments can be posted. You could sort by new and let fate take the wheel. That's true. I could do that. So let's just start here. Am I the asshole for telling my son he overreacted to his stepdad's prank? Let's zoom in a little bit so that we can read it. There we go. I've been married to my husband Dale for 4 years. I gotta say that Dale has this dark sense of humor that was developed from losing his entire family at a young age. He promised my son Jacob a car for his 18th birthday. He was talking about it, how he was saving for it for months. Jacob was beyond thrilled, but then when his birthday came and Dale revealed the car, it turned out to be a toy car. He pulled out a small box, told Jacob to open it. Jacob did so thinking it had the key to the new car, but it turned out to be a toy car. Jacob asked about it, and Dale revealed that there was no car and that he wanted to get him a toy car from the get-go and that it was a prank. Some guests laughed, but Jacob was furious. Oh, he did this in front of the whole family and like all of their guests at Jacob's 18th birthday. Sometimes you gotta pick out those little details through context, like, because they don't actually say. Jacob yelled at his stepdad and then rushed out of the house, which caused the party to be cut short and his friends and other guests leaving. I tried to talk to Jacob after he went to his grandparents' house and said while he had the right to get upset, he overreacted and shouldn't have left the party. He called Dale a liar and said that he made fun of him and humiliated him in front of his friends. His grandparents sided with him and told me I should not defend what Dale did. Dale has been trying to talk with Jacob to get him to come home, but he's refused. Wouldn't even answer my calls. Yeah, no, Dale is the asshole for sure. And I guess, so if OP is married to Dale, then OP is the asshole for sure. That's pretty clear. I hate pranks. The question itself already makes them the asshole. I hate this idea that pranks are just hurting people's feelings. The ideal prank doesn't lead to any actual hurt and is ultimately harmless, IMO. I have been party to several pranks that have been in good spirit and haven't ended up with hurt feelings. Like maybe a little bit of confusion, but not like upset. Like a prank can utilize confusion, but you do want it to be at the end, like that someone is reacting to that confusion positively. If Dale had been like, son, I'm giving you a car, and then immediately gave him the toy car, that would be one thing. A little dickish, but okay. But the fact that he built it up for months, that's psychopathic. Yeah, I mean, that's like mean. There's a difference between, yeah, I agree. Be like, son, you've done really well this semester, and I know your 18th birthday isn't here yet, but I wanted to go ahead and get you a car. And then you pulled it out behind your back, and it's like a little toy Ferrari. That would be okay. That would be like, ah ha ha. Thanks, Dad. Whatever. Fuck you. But yeah, the months of buildup, that makes this like sociopathic behavior. It's not cool. I wonder how many people, the YouTube prank era with people like Daddy05 and Sam Pepper, etc. was so weird. Daddy05 was like very explicitly, that was very explicitly just child abuse, right? Like that. I remember when Phil DeFranco covered that, and I was like, really upset at the fact that there wasn't any trigger warning on the episode. Like that's back when I was watching Philip DeFranco on The Daily, just like every day I watched him. And yeah, I remember being like, oh, like this is like children screaming. And it was very upsetting to me. The stepdad is the asshole and everyone that defended him is also an asshole. Agreed. Right. That's true too, Gayfesh. If a kid is turning 18 and you get told for months that you're going to be getting a car for your 18th birthday, you make plans. Like, yeah, that might have influenced this kid's thinking about like whether he was going to commute to school or not, or whether he would need to move into a dorm, right? Like that, you would be like making plans. It was so sad seeing the little kids in the comments with Roblox profile pictures being like, wait, what? Oh, being like, OMG, do this to him next. Yeah. That's so fucked up. I didn't know that that was an aspect of it. There was a similar situation to this with a Hooters where a waitress sued them for it, and she may have won because of the play on the word Toyota. They told her that she was going to get a Toyota, and she thought that they meant a car, but they gave her a toy Yoda. I hope she won. Oh, it did end up being an important legal event? Oh, wow. Practical jokes, prizes, and contract law. For what seemed to be a simple contract dispute, Barry versus Gulf Coast Wings, Inc. garnered an unusual amount of attention in both the legal and popular press. Former Hooters waitress Jody Berry sued her ex-employer for breaching its promise to award a new Toyota to the winner of an April 2001 sales contest. Berry alleged that her manager, Jared Blair, told the waitresses at the Hooters where she worked at the time that whoever sold the most beer at each participating location during April 2001 would be entered in a drawing, the winner of which would receive a new Toyota. As the contest progressed, Blair allegedly told the waitresses that he did not know whether the winner would receive a Toyota car, truck, or van, but that she would have to pay any registration fees on the vehicle. In early May, Blair informed Barry that she had won the contest. He proceeded to blindfold her and lead her to the restaurant's parking lot. Waiting for her there was not a Toyota car, truck, or van, but a doll of the character Yoda from the Star Wars movies, a toy Yoda. Blair laughed. Barry did not. Barry sued for breach of contract and fraud. Hooters answered that Blair was only joking. While the case eventually settled favorably for Barry, it raised three interesting questions of contract law that merit further discussion, namely, 1, whether Blair's statement was clearly in jest, such that it could not be accepted by Barry's performance, or 2, whether Blair's statement, even if not clearly in jest, constituted an offer to form a contract that could be accepted by Barry's performance, and 3, whether Barry gave sufficient consideration to bind Hooters to the terms of Blair's offer. It's a case of could have been funny, but you took too far. Yeah, yeah. Was there, wait, what Vine? It'd be funny to mess with someone if you were getting them a car, hide the key in the toy. Right, you could do the joke and like immediately be like, haha, no, it's a car. I guess that's another way to do it, Junebug. But the stepdad just had no intention at any point to get him a real car. And here's the thing I gotta wonder too about this post. Like, the mom, I'm guessing it's a mom, has been married to this guy Dale for 4 years. And then Dale has been saying for months that he's gonna get Jacob a car for his 18th birthday. With what money? Did the mom know beforehand that, was she like, oh, we have plenty of money, so he's probably gonna go ahead and do it? Like, there was like, son, I got you a Toyota, and the kid runs down to the garage and sees a Toyota. It was a Vine. I wonder which came first. This happened in 2003, so I'm gonna guess that maybe the Toyota thing was a reference to this. So Dale ruined your son's 18th birthday, an important moment in his life, in front of his friends and family, and then you, his mother, blame him for his totally justified emotions. True. I think, so actually, I did comment on this one earlier, and I think that I've changed my answer, and I want to know what you all think about this one. So on this Am I the Asshole, it says, I talked to my wife's boss about her being overworked, and now my wife is yelling at me about never trusting me again. I think, so my initial answer was not the asshole to this person posting, but now I think everyone sucks here is the response. Yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah, ESH, everyone sucks here. I think that's my answer now. Here's the thing. My wife's been putting in 10 to 14-hour days chained to her computer for the past 2 to 3 weeks, through weekends as well. The last 2 to 3 weeks have been 100-plus hour weeks for her. The whole year has been bad, with lots of lost weekends and working over vacations. I don't think that's legal. She wasn't able to take any days off for the holidays either. She's been screaming obscenities about her job, how she wants to quit, how it's ridiculous she's working so hard without any break. There have been multiple tear-filled days. I think she works from home. Is that the impression that I'm getting? I've been walking on eggshells, doing everything I can to help around the house and get her anything she wants, but I am on edge constantly, waiting for an explosion. So yeah, hold on, we'll get through it. Today, working through the weekend again, she was screaming about other people she worked with screwing her up, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I texted her boss. We work at the same company, and I am semi-friendly with him already, and said, 1, there are limits for human beings. 2, this kind of thing can't happen again next year. He agreed and said he would try to help. So either way, he did a crap job of keeping me out of his conversation with her about limits today. So she found out I'd messaged him. Edit, yep, that's me complaining about getting caught red-handed. I am the asshole. I do think, yeah, in this, there are, like, that. So I've landed on everyone sucks here. Because I initially thought, like, I don't think this guy is an asshole, but we'll talk through it. She's now saying to me that it was very misogynistic for me to message her boss to say she can't handle her job, which I didn't say, and it's going to set her career back by years. She says she can't ever trust me anymore to talk about work or how she's feeling, generally threw me in the doghouse. Am I the asshole here? I genuinely don't know. I can't stand to see her that strung out by work, but did I cross the line too far? So my initial thought on this, Jesus Christ, I think that the wife is damaging the calm at home. Like, if she's screaming and like throwing fits and like the partner feels like they have to like walk around on eggshells and try to be super duper accommodating, like, if it were a work environment, this would be a hostile work environment for the husband who's posting this post, right? Excuse me. I think that the wife sucks. and that she should not be putting up with these conditions. And if she's going to be putting up with these conditions, like she shouldn't be causing this problem. That's an issue between the wife and the husband, not the husband and the job. That part I agree with. Like, I do think that he should have encouraged her to fix her job or quit. Like, if he had said, you know, you've been working really hard and that means we've been able to save up some money. This job is clearly hurting you, so you need to quit. Like, and he could have even put a hard line down of like, if you don't quit this job, I'm going to consider moving out because the environment that you have created at home is not okay. I do like, yeah, I don't think that he needed to go to the boss. I think that he should have encouraged her to go to the boss, but I do think that she is doing something fucked up also. So everyone sucks here, in my opinion. Yeah, no worries, Flynn. You're good. Yeah, walking on eggshells at home is never a fun feeling. I gotta say, I still really care about my partner, but living alone feels much better. Like in, not like much better. Like, I mean, like on the daily in terms of like, not having someone like influencing your schedule and who you're like not sure how to predict what their moods are going to be like, you know, like someone who you kind of have to let set the tone for your conversations. Because I just never feel like I feel like I just can't lead in a conversation. Like that's just not something that I'm really good at doing. Hello, Mama Mephistopheles. We are hanging out. Today we're doing like just a chilling Am I the Asshole? As someone whose mom is overworked and has been for years, it's not fun and can mess you up a bit. I now apologize for everything all the time. Yeah, it's not healthy. Sounds like the boss sucks too if he's working his people that hard and or showing them to not take breaks, even if that's, quote, their choice. Like, why is the wife working during vacations? That's part of this. That's part of this is that the wife has been working during vacations. There are so many posts on Am I the Asshole that just seem pretty obvious that it's just very clearly one or the other. There aren't very many that are like, oh, I wonder. Just got done with a brunch date. It was nice. Yeah. That sounds fun. I was hoping to do a little bit of a date night this weekend, and it just didn't end up turning out that way, which I am bummed about. Yeah, like about living alone, like it's mostly just nice that there's at no time of my day am I like thinking about when someone is about to come into my space. Like, you know, it's like every weekday the person, like you work from home and your person comes home at a specific time or like around a specific time. And so you're just like, you're mentally blocking out like this entire 45-minute period of time where like someone could walk through the door at any moment. Like it's, yeah, I don't know. Agreed. Working to that extent is a recipe for mental, physical, and emotional problems that could be long-term. Oh, this is a good one. I read this one earlier today. Oh shoot, Kate, my 16-year-old just moved in with me a few weeks after breaking up with my live-in partner, so yeah, that's a vibe. I am sorry that like the living circumstances are so weird. I am separated from my partner right now. We didn't break up, but we are separated. We lived together for like 12 years. And I've never lived alone, so this is a new experience for me. Hence like the need for donations, because this is me being like, I'm disabled and self-employed and this is my first time ever living alone. Let's cross our fingers and hope that we don't have to ask our ex for money or anyone else. Anyway, am I the asshole for refusing to tell my boyfriend whenever something has to be done in the house? I, female age 24, have been living with my boyfriend, male age 26, for 6 months. I work full time. My boyfriend doesn't. That's a bad start. TLDR, I do 90% of the chores. Oh no, girl. My boyfriend is willing to help, but wants me to tell him whenever something has to be done. I don't agree with this, so he called me an asshole. Am I the asshole? Did your boyfriend really call you an asshole for you not wanting to delegate every fucking task in the house? So here's the issue. Since we've started living together, I've done 90% of the chores. I have complained to my boyfriend a couple times, telling him I would really appreciate if he could help me and that I would like to come back from work to a clean house. My boyfriend has always been willing to help. The issue is that he wants me to tell him whenever I want him to do something, aka he wants me to tell him when I want him to cook, clean, etc. A few weeks ago, I started cleaning our apartment on the weekend. I was pretty pissed as I had a very long and stressful week at work. During the week, a pile of dirty clothes had piled up and a bunch of dirty dishes were in the kitchen. I was pissed that my boyfriend stays home all day and didn't clean either the dishes nor the dirty clothes. While I was cleaning, my boyfriend came to me and told me he was angry that I didn't tell him I was cleaning. So because I didn't help him, or I didn't tell him, he wasn't able to help me. I broke down and told him I can't always tell him what to do, that I'm not his mother, and that he should be autonomous at his age. After all this, he called me an asshole and said I don't know how to communicate. I hate this man. Like, I just need to pause. Like, I hate this man. If we ever met in person, I would spit on this man's shoes. Like, what a fucking piece of shit this guy is. Anyway, man-child, fucking amen. Like, that's manipulative. It's so fucked up. Anyway, at the time of this incident, I was also pretty sick. We had nothing in the fridge because I didn't have time during the week to do grocery shopping as I had been working 9 to 7 all week at work. After our fight, I went to take a nap as I had a fever. I woke up in the evening to my boyfriend being pissed because he was hungry and complaining that there was no food in the fridge. I asked him why he didn't go grocery shopping and cook something, and he said he hadn't thought of doing that, and I should have told him that I wanted him to go buy us food. What the fuck? I feel so bad for straight women. I know, Mara. Oh my God. I broke down again and another fight started. I told him that he couldn't blame me for being hungry when I am already doing all the chores and I feel sick. Again, he called me an asshole. He said that he's 100% willing to help, but I need to tell him what to do. I don't agree with the fact that I should tell him whenever I want him to do something, and because of that, my boyfriend thinks I'm the asshole. So, dear Redditors, am I the asshole? Here's some background information. I did try to ask him what to do once. And one evening, I asked him to do laundry the next day. He said he will do it and also go buy a few groceries the next day. I came back home the next day and he hadn't done the laundry nor the grocery shopping. After that, we got into a fight and I stopped asking him to do things. This is why if my partner and I do break up, actually, I'm not dating men anymore. Like, this is the thing. They'll say like, oh, I want you to communicate with me more, or I want you to tell me when you want me to do stuff, or like, you know, I can't, they'll be like, how do I know what you want me to do if you don't ask? And then you ask and then they don't fucking do it. And then if you bring it up again, then you're a nag. Like, that's something that I find really frustrating is like, how do you follow up? Because the quintessential problem, I think, with a lot of these men, and like a man like this in particular, is he doesn't want to do anything. This guy in this relationship doesn't want to do anything. So he'll use any excuse. Like, if you're like, he's like, you need to tell me when you want something done. And you say, hey, I would really like you to do this. And he says, oh, okay, I'll do that. Then the next day, he's just not going to do it because he doesn't feel like doing it. And then when the woman follows up and she's like, hey, you told me that I needed to tell you when I wanted something done, and then I told you that I wanted something done, and you didn't fucking do it. And then they're going to be like, oh, well, I forgot. Like, okay, bitch, write yourself a note or something. Like, but what they always do is then the man finds a way to make it your job again by saying like, well, you should write it down. You should leave me a note. Like, bitch, how about you write it down? How about I told you? How about I already did what you asked me to do? Like, that's the thing, is that a man like that, a man like this guy is always going to find another way to make it your problem. Or he'll be like, oh, like I wasn't listening. You didn't make sure that I was paying attention. You know, like, I don't know. Like, there's so many different, they're just gonna always, it's just always gonna be some fucking problem about you. And yeah, she doesn't specify whether this guy has a job. Like, he's home all day, but does that mean that he has a part-time job, or is she completely supporting him and cleaning up after him? So yes, the last edit says, thanks for all the comments. I learned quite a bit about the mental load and weaponized incompetence. I had never heard those words before. I will set up a chores chart and give it a month. If nothing changes, I'll leave. And I do believe in like some amount of exchange. Like, I don't know if this is like, tell me if this is an unpopular opinion. Like, I can't work a regular job. Like, I can't work a hard physical job, right? So if I have a partner who's like on their feet all day and working really hard, and like I'm at home and like I am working and I'm trying to get stuff done, but like I think it's fair, and like this is part of what being in a relationship is like, if one person is like doing like primarily most of the money making and like working a really difficult job, and you're at home, you should be doing more of the work around the house. Like, whatever your gender dynamic is, like I felt like that's part of the economic value that I bring to a relationship. Like, historically, you know, women couldn't have jobs or whatever, and so women would do the work around the house because that like has economic value. It frees up the man to do the work in the mines that brings home the bacon, right? I think that that's fair. Like, it's balanced. It's two people bringing different strengths to a relationship. So yeah, like if this guy is at home all the time and the woman is working 9 to 7, like she said that all week she had been working like 10-hour shifts. Like, of course she doesn't have time to go to the grocery store. If you're home all day, you should be going to the grocery store during the day to reduce your total amount of COVID risk in your household. Like, you should go during the day when there aren't very many people at the store. I'm 20, autistic, live with my parents still, and don't have a proper job currently other than doing commissions and reselling things. And I do all the chores in the house because it's pulling my weight, if that makes sense. Right. Is he expecting her to act like his mother? True. Guy's a bum, probably never supported himself or lived alone. I think that she's gonna set up like a chore chart and give it some time. God bless her if she can make it work, but I think that she's gonna end up having to kick him out, and then he's gonna accuse her of being like abusive or something because he doesn't have a job and therefore doesn't have any money and can't afford to live on his own. Anyway, this one was crazy. He's going to forget to check the chart and be mad at her for not reminding him about the chart. Exactly. Like, he is always going to find another way to make it her problem. I kind of think that raising your kids without teaching them any self-care or independence skills is neglectful. Oh, I agree. I think this is part of what people critique when they're saying, like, you know how folks say, boys are so easy to raise. Like, yeah, boys are super easy to raise if you just don't fucking raise them. I'm sure it's super easy if you just neglect your children. Like, that's way easier than actually doing any parenting. Agreed, Penrose, at some point it became normal for women to work, probably when 2 incomes became necessary in a household, but it didn't become normal for men to do the housework. Okay. God bless men, okay? I think that I know men in my personal life who run into this problem, okay? Like, men who think that the fact that they have a full-time job means that, like, that's all the work that they need to do in the relationship. Like, I think that that's infuriating because it doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, if we are both expected to have a full-time job, like, just because I'm not able to work the same kinds of full-time jobs that other people do, like, I set my own hours, like, I have unconventional work hours and stuff, like, that doesn't mean, like, that we aren't still supposed to bring other things to the relationship. Like, why am I expected to work a full-time job and take the lead in all communication and emotional work and chores around the house and organization? Like, I find that really frustrating. Like, men really just think, like, if they have a job, that's all they need to bring to the relationship. Well, yeah, and that's late-stage capitalism for you. True, James. Hello, Christy. Hello. Yes, it is I, Lux Banana. The real problem is that we can't give them uppity wives lobotomies anymore. True. It's different for us trans men because we weren't raised to think we'll be mothered by a future wife or partner. Yeah, I think that there are other ways that toxic masculinity impacts trans men that also makes them undesirable to me as potential dating partners. But yeah, it's the weaponized incompetence. Here's like a separate question. So, weaponized incompetence, we typically are using that to, so like, this is actually a really good example of what I want to ask you about today. Weaponized incompetence typically means men, like, generally, like, this is the situation that we're talking about, like, men pretending like they don't know how to do something in order so that you stop asking them to do it, basically. Like, oh, you ask your partner to load the dishwasher, but then they load the dishwasher in the most fucking stupid way possible. Like, and you come back and you're like, I need to fix this. You're like, I have to redo the entire thing. And you get and you might even try to explain, like, hey, the way that a dishwasher works, like, because the water is spraying out from the center, like, you need to organize the dishes in a way where the dirty part is, like, facing where the water is supposed to come from, right? Like, you might explain that to them, and then the next time you try to, like, ask your husband to load the dishwasher, it's the most fucking retarded possible way again. And you end up fighting about it and getting frustrated and going like, never mind, I'll just do it myself. And I think that's what people usually mean when they're talking about weaponized incompetence. But it just occurred to me as I've been reading some of these posts, like, I think that the weaponized incompetence thing can also be utilized about communication. And, like, as we're talking about this, yeah, I said the R slur. Oh no. Like, the boyfriend being like, I need you to ask me what to do. And then the one time she did ask him to do stuff, and then it didn't get done and it became a fight. Like, and it's also like, after that, we got into a fight and I stopped asking him to do things. Like, that is really vague. I don't know if you notice. It's kind of like, what do you mean we got into a fight? Are you saying I started screaming at him because I was so upset? Like, the language "we got into a fight" makes it sound more like she was justifiably angry and then he retaliated and it became a fight because he was, and, like, I'm projecting onto that, I guess, a little bit. Like, I'm making a lot of assumptions. Hello, Jim C. Welcome in. But like that like, I have felt this before where it's like, I wasn't going into this trying to start a fight, but a fight happened to me anyway. Have any of you ever felt that way? Where you're like, I'm just trying to like do something normal or like do a normal amount of conflict resolution. And then somehow you're in a fight and you're like, I don't think I did this. Like you suddenly realize that there was nothing you could have done to prevent there being a fight. Like the other person was going to fight you no matter what. You were like, it was inevitable from the moment the conversation started. Like this really strikes me that way, where the boyfriend really, again, I don't think he ever planned on doing anything. You know, he was like, oh, you need to tell me when you want me to do something. And then she told him, and he never planned to do it anyway. And then when she's like, hey, you didn't fucking do what you said you were going to do, then he gets to be defensive. And I think that that's part of weaponized incompetence, because then when later when he's like, oh, well, you telling me I forgot because you told me while I was playing a video game. And so I didn't remember that you talked to me because I wasn't focused on what you were saying. So instead, can you write it down for me? Or can you make me a chore chart? Like, communication is listening too. It's also listening. So like, if you aren't listening, that also reads to me like weaponized incompetence, but the incompetence is just that you're incompetent at communication. Like you're weaponizing an incompetence at listening to make more work for the other person. My ex was big into that. Sometimes there was going to be a fight no matter what. Once it was over a haircut I got. Oh my God, that sounds awful. It's hard to navigate when you're autistic because it can be hard to learn independent skills, at least for me, but you have to keep trying. You can't just refuse to try or learn. Like I was forced to deal with a lot of independence as a child and like forced to do a lot of chores. Like, I guess that's the distinction growing up AFAB. Like I was made to do a lot of these things and I was made to do a lot of them autonomously. So, now that I live alone, I might have like a disproportionate amount of anxiety about doing the dishes because there was like a threat looming over it when I used to do it as a kid. But I can do the dishes. I'm competent at it, and they get done when they need to get done. I would ask someone what they want because autism makes it hard for me to quote just no, and I've had partners accuse me of weaponized incompetence. Like, just fucking tell me what you want. Jesus. That's really frustrating, Christy. I'm sorry. Your parents fucking suck. Anansi, that sounds insane. Anansi says, once my ex was yelling and shouting at me. I asked her why she was fighting with me, and she actually screamed that she doesn't know, but I started it. I was stoned and quiet the whole time before. That sounds insane. I'm so sorry. I really need to learn the kind of life skills and shit I wasn't taught growing up and work on the abnormal degree of stress I associate with cleaning tasks because I'm quickly approaching a point of independence for my family and I don't want to be impossible to live with like this dude. Set up a reward system for yourself. Like, set up a token reward system. Like, Google that. Google token reward system and set up something to, like, and intermittent reward system is what your goal is, ultimately. At first, you want to reward every single time you do something even... Like, okay, if you're training a dog and you want to get the dog to learn how to sit, when you're first starting to train the dog... Anytime the dog's butt even starts to head toward the ground, you give the dog a treat. Because you're trying to build incremental behavior. So like every time the dog's butt starts to go down, you give them a treat. Until they start to realize, oh, you want me to put my butt down. And then they go progressively. So at first, you need to go like, walking to the kitchen sink is the equivalent of the dog's butt like starting to get a little bit lower to the ground. You haven't sat down yet, but the butt has started to lower. Incremental reward system. Like, if you're putting pennies in a jar to represent dollar amounts so that you can get something for yourself later, or if it's literally just like M&Ms, you know, you can do M&Ms as an intermittent reward system. Oh, and Nancy, what you were saying about like your partner started it with you. Like, I've also read that people with ADHD apparently will like start fights because they are lacking in stimulation. Like, they'll start a fight with you because they just aren't getting enough stimulation, that seems crazy to me, but exactly, Spacer's choice. Exactly. Hey, Baphomet, is your room a little bit cleaner? Hopefully it is. I've been avoiding my editing work so much. My apartment is super clean. Like, I got almost all the way caught up on dishes yesterday because I was having such a hard time getting myself to do editing work. Excuse me. I have ADHD and I love to argue. I like to argue on Twitter. I like to argue in my YouTube comments. I just try to relegate it to those areas. Hellhound, what's up, says, I've been listening for a bit here. I remember trying the logic of do a chore I didn't like poorly so I didn't have to do it again when I was a kid. My mom just responded by making me do the task over again until I did it correctly. That's how you do it. It's just that when you're an adult dealing with another adult, like, you can't you just can't manage that, and also your job and everything. Like, it's too much. It's clever, really. I've never even thought of pretending to not be able to do something as a kid. I just had the autistic lacking common sense thing. Yeah, exactly. Fake arguments in my brain that I win. Sometimes I lose and then cry. Yeah, you gotta not do that. I struggle with that. I'll start pacing. I'll be like pacing in my empty apartment, like thinking about a fucking argument that I'm trying to have in my head. And then I like realize what I'm doing and I'm like, is this helpful to me? Like it's not even like I'm rehearsing the lines that I need to say to the person that I need to talk about, like, that I need to talk to. Because it's like, I've already planned this conversation out. Like, I've already had this conversation in my mind before with these exact same words. And it's like, it's just making me anxious. Like, I already know all the words. I'm not like workshopping here. I'm just doing the conversation in my head for no fucking reason. I will sometimes pick fights with my dad, but it's almost always because I walk by his office and he's listening to fucking Matt Walsh. I mean, true. Rethinking your own ideals in private is better than the internet. I can see that. Yeah, for sure. Heffling Rogue says, I have ADHD, but I don't like conflict, and I grew up having to feel responsible for everyone else's emotions, so I cannot even fathom starting an argument for the dopamine hit. See ya, Flynn. I'm ADHD as well and keep getting into fights by accident. I think I'm also just not very aware because I'll think we're just shooting the shit and suddenly things will become very tense. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of, I mean, yeah, it's like there's like, that's the sense that I get where I'm like, I didn't know that we were fighting. Or like, I've had like times when like someone is breaking up with me, but it takes me an embarrassingly long time to realize that they're breaking up with me. Just because like I don't understand that that's what people are not very direct, I think, is part of the problem too. Jesus, just throw out the whole dad. I hate doing the chores when I'm directly told to do it. It's as if I find it easier when no one is watching me. I do find that it would help if I lived with someone. I would be like, yeah, if there's something in particular you would like done today, because I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed and I'm like having a hard time prioritizing, like, you know, what's bothering you the most right now, and that'll help me kind of get my priorities in order. But if they tell me, like, I need you to do this right now, like, I wouldn't want that kind of dynamic. I want like some feedback. but I want to invite that. What's up, Dark Canuck? I hate being with someone who isn't direct with me, especially if, yeah, when I tell them to be direct with me, Jesus. Oh God, the worst is when when I'm like, today I am going to do X, and then someone says, hey, can you do X? And immediately motivation is sapped. That's really interesting. I don't have that problem. No, I mean, well, it's not that motivation is sapped. It's like, I don't know. That's, hold on. To me, it's usually like, oh, I was hoping that you would like notice and appreciate this thing that I already like. I feel like I'm not getting credit for the fact that I had already planned on doing the thing. It's like they get the credit for telling you to do it. Yeah, it's weird. I'm like, I don't have this problem where it feels like I'm only doing it because I'm obligated to at that point. For me, it's like I wanted to do something for you, and if you then ask me to, then I'm like, well, that just kills the fact that I wanted to do a nice thing in the first place. Like, I mean, yeah, now that you've asked, sure, I will. I totally wasn't already going to do it because because I had the initiative to do something for you. That's a weird one. I think I just loathe having tasks delegated to me. Obligation stresses me out immensely. I hate when I'm doing X and someone stops me to ask me to do X, and then I glare at them like, you stopped me doing X to ask me to do X. That sounds infuriating. I've never had that happen to me before. See if there's any other good Am I the Asshole posts. Are there any Reddits with like funny stories? Are there any subreddits with like amusing, like I want it to be situational like these, but maybe less serious conversation. I'm sure I can find other ones to bitch about on here. Oh, this one seems like it's gonna be funny. RPG horror stories, okay. Today I fucked up. Today I fucked up. Okay. Today I fucked up sounds good. I'll check that out when I finish reading this. Well, hold on. Let me just look it up in a different tab. Reddit.com. It's a fiction sub. Oh. I don't want a fiction sub. Okay, what was I doing? Okay, yeah. Am I the asshole for telling people that my girlfriend shat herself during our son's birth? This is gonna be great. Last night there was a dinner party at my girlfriend's sister's, let's call her Lana's house, to celebrate the recent birth of their child with some of her family and friends. Afterwards, we were outside having some drinks and discussing the birth itself. Lana was talking about how embarrassed she was afterwards because she'd shat herself during it and how she wanted to just bury her head in the sand. Only 3 women in the group have had kids. Lana, one of her friends, and my girlfriend. The rest hadn't and seemed quite shocked that Lana shat herself, including my girlfriend. To be fair, they weren't laughing directly at her in an intentionally malicious way, but were still laughing in a "you really did that" type of way. My girlfriend chimed in saying that she would have been surprised if Lana wasn't embarrassed after shitting all over herself, then started dramatizing the whole thing jokingly as if it were a major deal. It was all banter, but to cover all corners, I added that it's actually common to shit yourself while giving birth. With all the pushing and pressure being exerted on your stomach, it's frankly only natural and a very common occurrence, so she shouldn't be bothered. The friend who has a child agreed with me, but one cousin was like, yeah, right, and so I doubled down and used my girlfriend as an example. She also pooped during the birth. She seemingly didn't realize, and we never spoke about it because it literally didn't matter to anyone. I didn't give a fuck. The nurses didn't give a fuck. The doctor absolutely didn't give a fuck. What matters is the baby came out, even if he came out with unexpected friends. Oh, did you have twins or triplets? My girlfriend argued with me for a bit, insisting that she didn't, but stopped when I told her she could ask her mother, who was also there. From then onwards, she completely ignored me. Every time I spoke to her, she would simply just stare at me and then continue talking to someone else. This made things a bit tense since everyone noticed, so I told her that I'd wait in the car and excused myself. She followed about 30 minutes later, and as soon as we got home, she gave it to me. Just silence in the car the whole time. Oh, the unexpected friends, the turds. Oh, my bad. I'm fucking retarded. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is one of those times where I realize, like, oh, I stream at noon on Sundays and I need to eat first. Because then now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I've been awake since 9 and I haven't eaten yet today. So I will have stupid moments. She thinks it was a dickhead move, blasting the fact that she shat herself to everyone like that and that it was really embarrassing and unnecessary. No one even cared, and I could tell it made Lana feel calmer, but I just let her get it out and didn't say anything. Things are still quite cold, and I just keep replaying this in my head, wondering if I'm the asshole. Am I the asshole? No chance they gave birth without shitting themselves unless it was a C-section. The friends are the poop. Like, I don't know. I haven't read this one. I haven't developed an opinion about this before. Like, part of the point was that it's normal and it doesn't matter. Like, I think if you think you didn't shit yourself when you gave birth, then it's probably because people didn't want you to know about it. Like, it is kind of a personal thing to share, though. Yeah, like, the only reason why, like, she was sitting there, like, dramatizing it, which I think that's kind of shitty. I think the girlfriend is kind of the asshole. She was like, my girlfriend chimed in saying that she would have been surprised if Lana wasn't embarrassed after shitting all over herself, then started dramatizing the whole thing jokingly as if it were a major deal. Like, I don't think she would have responded this way if she had known that she shat herself also. Bringing it up for the first time, probably not the best. If it had been discussed before, probably not so bad. I feel like maybe it might have been less of an asshole move if you maybe, like, just quietly texted your girlfriend, like, hey, you shat yourself when our baby was born. And no one said anything because it's super normal. So maybe you should chill the fuck out in this conversation and offer her some empathy. Like, I would say doing it out loud in front of everybody like that. Yeah, if you had just texted her and been like, hey, no one said anything, but you shit yourself. So I guess everyone sucks here. I think everyone sucks here. Yeah, everyone sucks here, but mostly his girlfriend. She was fine making someone else feel ashamed, but got mad when it was turned on her. True. True. And it's time once again for a moment to appreciate what rock stars nurses are. I'm very suspicious of nurses in general, but if you're a white woman, I'm sure they will take care of you. Definitely everyone sucks here. Everyone sucks here. Everyone sucks here. Ah, everyone agrees. That's always good. Oh yeah, no worries, Christy. Nurses don't get their hands dirty, not the ones I see. Someone said, I think someone was saying, like, oh, nurses are really good about, like, discreetly cleaning up the poop when you give birth. Like, they're probably sensitive to the idea that you don't want to be thinking about the fact that you just shat yourself when you're, like, waiting for your baby to be placed on your chest for the first time. I have as much respect for nurses as doctors, which is unfortunately not much. I was visiting with my doctor recently, and I was like, I don't trust cis white nurses. Like, they're power tripping just as much as the cops that they're married to. And he thought that was funny. Oh, man. Oh, my phone is making noises. Cease and desist, phone. Why are you making noises? Cis white nurses were all high school bullies. Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly it. You posted on Am I the Asshole a while back, Mama Mephistopheles. I mean, we can if you're ready for me to comment on your personal shit. Is that what you want? Is for me to comment on your personal life situations? The actual people cleaning up shit are paid way less. It depends on the nurse. Head nurses tend to be jerks, I've noticed. This is particularly true of psychiatric nurses. I just think that a lot of nurses, like, they want to insert their personal views into their medical care, and it's like, you're in the wrong field. Okay, here's an Am I the Asshole post from one of our own Horties. Am I the asshole for getting upset at another player in our D&D game? So yesterday was my female 25 group's weekly D&D, actually Pathfinder game. We play online using Roll20 and Discord voice chat. Things were going swimmingly until one player, who I will call Kyle, male 30 years old, mentioned a deity from the official Pathfinder pantheon that was not in our DM's homebrew pantheon. I thought I heard a pause and asked the DM for clarification. At the same time I thought I heard a pause, Kyle resumed speaking, and his response to this was, "Thanks for interrupting, douche." This bothered me. I went to Discord text and apologized for interrupting since I didn't mean to do it, but his response felt unwarranted since people accidentally interrupt each other all the time on voice chat. He refused to apologize and said my, quote, behavior was douchey. Yeah, I already don't like this guy. Like, thanks for interrupting, douche. Like, you had a connectivity thing. Like, your voice wasn't coming through for a second, so I thought you were done talking. Like, so far, Kyle is an asshole. That's what I'm getting off of this so far. You know, the inciting incident was not a big deal, but his responses upset me. We went back and forth, and he kept doubling down, accusing me of intentionally interrupting him and disrespecting his roleplay. I said it was a mistake, and he didn't believe me. He also said he didn't care if I was offended and acted extremely dismissive. Then he said he was, quote, done discussing it. So I called him out. We had been on a quick break at that point and everyone was getting back, so I said in voice chat that I was upset by the way he acted, didn't like how he assumed malicious intent on my part, and I was putting my foot down. I was crying and shaking when I was talking and definitely got heated and animated. Maybe I made a bigger deal than I should have, but I don't like when someone so casually walks over my boundaries and refuses to even acknowledge that they did anything wrong. I'm very big on my personal boundaries, like when someone speaks for me and especially when they don't let me speak for myself. He gave a non-apology, like, I'm sorry you were offended, and I called him out on that too. He never gave an actual apology. None of the other players said anything, and our DM ended the game early. I think Kyle is a huge fucking dick. Yeah, and I think that, yeah, the responses to your thread have all agreed that you are not the asshole in this situation. That's crazy. Like, this is one of those things that I really can't stand, that I've experienced men doing this. I haven't experienced many women doing this, although I'm sure that they do. But, like, accusing you of having intent to do something, like, because they feel hurt, they assume you must have intended to hurt them. And when you say, or in this case of, like, interrupting, I'm using hurt and interrupt like interchangeably in this instance. I'm like, I didn't intend to interrupt you and disrespect you. Like, just because you feel disrespected doesn't mean I was being disrespectful. But I mean, it cuts both ways, because there are times when I'm sure someone doesn't feel like they were being disrespectful toward me, but I still feel disrespected. I guess it just is, like, all from our personal perspective. But, like, if they just double down and, like, no, you meant to do it. You did it on purpose. You don't respect me. Like, you interrupted me because you don't respect me. That's, like, inserting a lot of psycho bullshit into my mind that wasn't there. Like, That's a you problem at that point. If I've said, I didn't intend to, I apologize for interrupting you. I apologize that my interrupting you made you feel that way. And they keep doubling down like, no, you meant to do it. You were trying to come after me. Yeah, it's a persecution complex. I would be like, at that point, that's a you problem for sure. I haven't gone back to that game since that incident. I just don't feel super comfy there. Kyle was sending me messages for a few days after, but I didn't even read those. Yeah, I don't blame you for just ghosting the group. Like, no one else backed you up on it. That was fucked up. Oh. The fact that you offered a genuine apology, whereas Kyle basically dropped a sorry you were offended and expected that to be an okay response. Like, what a fucking hypocrite, right? Drinking a little bit of water, okay? If you're having fun hanging out, yeah, kink discourse. If you're having fun hanging out, hit the like button. We have 69 likes right now. Let's make it no longer nice. It's currently nice. Let's fuck it up. And if you like the content, if you like the hanging out, and if you like the politics, even though we're not doing politics today, we will be doing politics later in the week, consider dropping me a dono. Maybe, like, do a $1 subscription on Patreon, which is money that I can budget around. Holy shit. Not nice. I know, now it's a 72. It's not nice. How dare. Damn, Kyle, I'm sorry you're an asshole. I'm glad that we helped you get through work, Shimeji. Let's go. Okay, yeah, we're going to do a little bit of kink discourse. Am I the asshole for asking my roommate to practice their kink elsewhere? I, 22 female, have a roommate, 22 non-binary, who is a bit weird. They are overall a great roommate, but also have a weird fetish, a diaper fetish. I accidentally found this out, and I personally do not care. However, when they actually use their diapers, they don't dispose of them properly, which stinks up the house. I am tired of smelling fecal matter in my own home because our ventilation sucks. At first, this was just occasional, but they started to do it more frequently. I don't mind as long as I don't know what happened. I've warned them multiple times to find a better way to dispose of the waste that doesn't make me have to constantly smell their stink, because I don't want to smell it, and they should have common courtesy and not make, they should have common roommate courtesy and not make their roommates have to know of what they do behind closed doors. They have not. Yesterday, I had enough and told them to please just practice their fetish somewhere else, find a date on some kink site or something so that I don't have to deal with the smell. I told them that if they kept doing it, I would stop paying a portion of our rent and they would have to make up for what I'm paying until they stopped doing it in a way that made me aware of it. They told me that this was a shitty move. Ha. That they have the freedom to practice their kink in their own home and already do it privately, and I can't just make them pay more rent than me. Am I the asshole for asking my roommate to practice their kink elsewhere? I think this person is 100% right. I think this person is 100% correct. That, like, you, like, I will be, like, keep holding back a portion of my rent until, you know that they make buckets specifically for diapers. Hold on. There's like they make very specific trash cans for diapers that have this like seal. You put the diaper in there and then you close the top and it like seals the smell in. And they might even have like an air freshener thing built into the top. Like, yeah, am I the asshole for wanting my house to not smell like actual shit? They make these, like, you have to put this in your bedroom. You absolutely have to you put this in your bedroom. I think that's 100% fair. What I don't like is how they framed it around the kink itself. How about, hey, can you stop making the house smell like shit? Well, I think, yes, she says, I've warned them multiple times to find a better way to dispose of the waste that doesn't make me have to constantly smell it. Like, so I guess maybe the conversation has been about kink, and they should have common courtesy and not make their roommates have to know about your fetish. I think, yeah, like, they did address the, like, I shouldn't have to know about your fetish. Yeah, with several prior warnings. Like, you need to find a way to dispose of your diapers that doesn't stink up the whole fucking house. Like, the apartment that I'm in now does not have good ventilation. And I'm like, it's good in some ways, I guess, that like when you burn a candle, the smell really sticks around for a while. But at the same time, you're like, this is not fresh air. You're like, it's the middle of winter, but I feel the need to open my windows sometimes because, like, if I cook food that gets smoky in here, the smoke doesn't have anywhere to go. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think this person was, I don't think this person is being an asshole. Situation. Hold on. We're going to read through the comments because of the puns. They told me that this was a shitty move. Okay, can we take a moment to appreciate how ironic that statement is? Sorry, OP, that you're stuck in that crappy situation. Crappy situation. Shituation. They poo-pooed OP's shitgestion. I have an air filter. Fresh air is the best move, though. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting an air filter. Like an actual air filter. I've been considering that for a long time, but that would be expensive. And I'm trying to make sure that I am going to be able to pay my rent this month. That's the main goal. The main goal for January is prove that I can have independence doing this job and that I am not, in fact, a dependent. I don't really think very kindly about myself when it comes to my inability to work. You know, actually, I'm not very nice to myself. My roommates and I had conversations about our boundaries when we moved into the apartment. I can show them the kink collar I made as a matter of arts and crafts pride, but I don't leave the door open when I have someone over. Right. I have every right to smoke weed, but you don't see me smoking inside a building where other people pay rent. It's just basic respect for others. Yeah, you don't smoke cigarettes in your apartment. Like, yeah. There are ways to get around this. Yeah, air filter is not cheap at $130-ish. I'm hoping in a couple months... Listen, I'm really annoyed with both myself and the government right now because I applied for SNAP benefits and... I guess sometime in the last couple of weeks, I missed a phone call where they were trying to interview me to check about that's a required part of the process to get food stamps. And I've been getting a shit ton of spam calls recently. And some of those fucking spam calls are from fucking healthcare.gov. But because I've been getting so many spam calls, I didn't answer the goddamn phone. And now, usually how it works is I applied for food stamps in December, and if I had answered the call on that interview and gotten approved, they would have back paid me all the way to December. But now, because I missed their stupid fucking phone call, my benefits will start the day I have my interview instead of the day that I originally applied. So I'm really, 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 really pissed off at myself and also at this stupid fucking system that relies on phone calls. Like, I'm really annoyed. And they didn't leave a message or anything. And so, and because they didn't schedule it, now it's like, oh, you have to call back and schedule a time. And so it's like, okay, well, you could have scheduled a time with me originally. Like, or am I just going to call and they're going to be like, yeah, we'll call you sometime. Get ready to answer every stupid fucking phone call you're going to get over the next 3 weeks. Yeah, fuck the FCC for letting spam calls get this bad. And, like, it's not just the FCC. Specifically, also, unrelated, fuck healthcare.gov for fucking calling me constantly. Like, I guess I need to go in and, like, maybe change a permission or something, but stop fucking calling me. I tried to sign up for health insurance, and it was going to cost me $300 a month with a fucking $9,000 deductible. Stop calling me. But the healthcare.gov actually leaves fucking messages, though, at least. As someone who works full-time and can't answer phone calls at work, it's fucking stupid. Like, they could have emailed me and been like, we are going to call you tomorrow or something, but nope. And also, they sent me the notification that I had been denied on a Friday afternoon. this past Friday afternoon, but they told me I was denied as of Thursday. Like, okay, so you could have told me Thursday and I could have called Friday, but instead you told me fucking Friday night and I have to wait until Monday. I really, really, really hate the US government. Like, I'm really angry about it. Because I do think I actually, like, yeah, I can probably afford to eat and stuff on this job. But, like, it would make, like, I would definitely be able to afford to eat if I got the fucking food stamps. And now I'm like, gonna miss out on the entire month of back pay. Reminds me how I reached out to my local disability people for help with applying to jobs. Not even benefits, just applications. And when I got sick with COVID and couldn't show up to the appointment, they completely ghosted me ever since. It's fucked up. I mean, true, Gypsy. It's by design to deny care to as many people as they can get away with. At least leave a message and a window to call back. Yeah, instead of just a denial and then I have to appeal. It's very fucking annoying. Being disabled or anything is a sin in capitalism. True. So yeah, now I have to call and be like, and the fucked up thing is that I actually did call on Friday to check on my case. And so if I had known that my case was denied on Thursday, I would have hit the number on the fucking thing that said like, or press this number if you've missed a call from us. I would have been like, oh, I'll do that now and have it taken care of 2 fucking days ago. Don't you just love being one medical emergency away from financial ruin? I'm already in like a pretty decent amount of medical debt. Like I'm already in medical debt. So like if I get into a medical emergency, you know, that's just going to be debt that I have. Like I don't really have the ability or really the motivation to pay off any medical debt. I just don't really care that much. So I don't know. It's probably gonna bite me in the ass that I like haven't made a proactive effort, but I also like just can't afford to pay it. So I don't know what they fucking expect. Anyway, I'm getting really salty about this. You have no moral obligation to consider medical debt legitimate. Yeah, I have no moral obligation. The sucks is that it can get sent to collections and then be bad for my credit. Like it can like permanently make you like the issue that I'm running into right now where the bed that I have that you guys helped me buy is going to get me by, but it's not the right bed. I need the bed that is going to be comfortable enough for me to sleep on for the next 15 years. And if I don't have good enough credit, I will never be able to get a bed. Like my parents don't have good credit. I've relied on like my in-laws, but like my mother-in-law is gonna die like probably in the next 10 years. Like hopefully not, but like realistically, with like everybody getting COVID multiple times and everything, like she's the one who's done all of the like co-signing when I buy a car and shit like that. And like I'm just not gonna be able to get a place to live, or I'm just not going to be able to get a car because of medical debt. We'll see. I'm building credit though now. Like, as long as I can afford to pay off my credit card, after having to use it a little bit last month to get through the month, it'll be fine. When I was on food stamps during COVID, my caseworker who interviewed me was working from home using a phone that wasn't up to the job. I could barely hear. Not her fault. But still, yeah, that's frustrating. The computer says no and you die. They expect you to die, Bond. True. We got to check out awe gifts. Okay. See ya, Andy. The surgeries and treatment I received for triple brain aneurysm was over $1.3 million. Canada has its faults, but you won't catch me complaining. That's part of why I want to go to Canada eventually, is like, I think that people don't prioritize as much as they need to that you're gonna age and you're gonna need access to care. And if you get cancer and you can't pay for it, they will just let you die. No worries, Andes. As long as you're not opining too much over your ex. That's the only thing I'm gonna shame you for opining at your ex. Oh, this one is good. The family resemblance. Incredible. What good babies. Do you have a P.O. box? I would like to have a P.O. box. They do cost money. So I think now that I've determined that I'm going to stay probably in the local area for at least another couple years, I probably should go ahead and get a P.O. box when I have some extra money. Oh, ex-boyfriend died. Oh, shit. Like, so you were already exes, and then he passed away. I'm really sorry to hear that. And sorry for being weird about it a second ago. That was my bad. I feel like I'm both in the process of grieving and forgiving him. That sounds complicated. Hold on. Leave me alone, dude. Oh yeah, that's irritating. I don't like how imager embeds work on Reddit. I find that quite irritating. This bird hates alarm clocks. Oh. That's funny. One more time. There was such force. There was such force behind that. Oh boy. Oh, this is a cute one. Hold on. Whee! Babies. I miss kitty cats. I love kitty cats. It's like one of the first things I have to do when I visit with my partner is I go touch the cat. It's the zoom that really does it for me. Leo is my furry overlord. Yes, Mitter is a good boy. This cat has fallen off the windowsill. Here comes this other cat to rescue and save the day. And then Roughhouse. At first I was like, is this cat just like biting? He's trying to pull a scar. That's what this looked like initially. He's like, long live the king. And then just fucking murks him straight off the side of the cliff. This is a jellyfish, which is pretty adorable. I have a Viking cat. Yeah, I don't think Cat was helping. I think Cat was trying to like, he was trying to eat his hand. He was trying to pull a fucking scar. He was like, I'm gonna do a usurpation of the monarchy real fast. You have Scar's inflections down. I bet you could do a good Jeremy Irons. I don't know how to do a Jeremy Irons. He's got this like my voice is really clear, right? My voice is very strong. Like it there's this like roughness to Jeremy Irons' voice that I have no idea if I could possibly. There's this like growl to it that I don't know if I could do. But it would be fun. Oh, look at this baby. Look at this baby. I look forward to the day when I can choose a new cat. Like, that's definitely going to be a moment for me. Because I haven't chosen a cat in like 13 years. 12, 13 years. What a good, sweet boy. That's really sweet. It's sad, like, you see a post like this, and it's like, my cat used to hold my arm down to make sure I get licked. And you're like, I know that you're saying, you're posting a video of a cat who has since passed away. And that's, like, sweet, but it's also sad. I'm sorry, you were working a second ago and now you've just decided to be a huge fucking asshole for no reason. We run into this problem sometimes, my computer, where something is working 1 second and then just decides to not fucking work the next second, and we're gonna end up with like a thrown out of the window type level problem here. Stop. Okay, that's all I wanted. Oh my god, look at the little meow. Whereas mine is currently a lump on top of computer. Wait, what? Oh, cat is a lump on top of computer. I can't have cats on top of computers. That would be bad. My city is full of cats. All I have to do is leave the door open for a bit and one will choose me. That's how Gayfish got his cat. Just moved in. My one cis friend just said something sus. What did your cis friend say that was sus? It's true, you don't choose cats. Cats choose you. My cat was abandoned in my flower bed. It was meant to be. There was a sibling that was dead next to him. Failure to thrive. Oh my god, excuse me. I've tried many times to stop her. She always beats me. My cat knows not to step on the laptop keyboard, excuse me, but that does not extend to the non-keyboard parts. Cat's like, this is warm, and I'm gonna step on it. Step on me, daddy, but it's cat version. Yeah, I've noticed that Facebook does that weird thing where it reloads randomly, and that's quite annoying. Has anyone else had the thing on Facebook recently, on desktop, where you'll click a picture, and you'll look through the couple pictures that are posted in that same post, and then you used to be able to just like click on the left sort of side of the photo in the like black space to the left, and just like that would be the same as clicking like the back button or the like return to my home feed where I was just looking at it button. But now when I click on that left margin, it always takes me to fucking Facebook ads. And like, or like it takes me to Facebook groups or something. Like it always does something weird. Or like I'll be able to see the Facebook logo in the top left, which normally you can click to go through back to your home page, but it like just doesn't do anything. Like when you hover over it, there's no like link to click to go anywhere, and that entire left margin is just fucking busted for me. I don't know how to report like bugs like that. Fuck you, you get ads. I mean, not even that I get ads, it takes me to the page where you learn about Facebook ads and like how to post them and like what the regulations are. CRB Vegas says, yo, being trans is kind of some bullshit, kind of blows, you know? Why do I feel safer in bars than I do at Target? I don't feel safer in bars than I do at Target, but that's just me. I live in a place where there aren't very many mass shootings, so I feel like a gay bar is more likely to get targeted than a Target. Friend told me he wished he could wear his hair like this female cartoon character. Sussy wussy. Sussy sussy wussy. I'm kind of curious about Today I Fucked Up because I just haven't been here before. This is not one that I've followed yet on Reddit. What does the flare mean? Small, medium, large. Today I fucked up. Small, medium, large. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Today I Fucked Up. We're gonna try Today I Fucked Up because I've never been to this subreddit before. Today I fucked up by asking my girlfriend who she's texting. I, 23 male, and my girlfriend, 23 female, are traveling right now and are staying at a relatively shady area because it's cheaper. While we were heading back to our hotel, I saw her texting someone and asked who she's texting. She told me she's texting her mom, and I know that her mom is named Queen Heart on her phone, but the person she was texting did not have a yellow heart. I didn't really care who she's texting, but I didn't understand why she lied, so I said, "You must think I'm pretty stupid, so what is it?" Didn't mean to be accusatory, though. I just wanted to ask. She went silent. It's a style popular with black women, too. Oh, okay, that's weird. She went silent for 2 minutes and then suddenly started walking really fast in the dark. I asked her what's wrong, and she refused to answer me. Now, she has no money and no SIM card. I shared my hotspot, and we kept our money together, even though some of it is hers. So I had to run to catch up since we were in an unfamiliar place. She didn't respond at all until we got back to where we were staying, when she suddenly started packing her belongings. She then tried to leave the place, and I had to stop her because it was dark out, and if I lost her, I wouldn't know how to find her, not to mention that I didn't know how safe the area was at night. After 20 minutes of me trying to stop her from doing stupid stuff and leaving, she suddenly started crying and said, "It all starts like this. We're gonna break up because you don't trust me." So then I now had to comfort her and assure her I'm not going to break up with her. I am now 100% sure I will break up with her, though, not because she was texting whoever, I still don't know, but because I can't deal with someone like this. I still have 6 days of vacation left with her, though. Oh, no. TLDR, asked my girlfriend who she's texting while traveling, and she started packing her stuff and tried to leave in the middle of the night. Edited to add, I know how sus this sounds because I don't really get it either. I legit have not left out any information. The rest of our trip so far was fine. Apart from that, we argued a bit over some lazy planning of the trip on my part. I'm not an insecure person. The topic of cheating has literally never come up in our discussions. And then another addendum. I wrote this after she slept and thought I'd check the comments and write an update. I don't really care if she's cheating or not. That's something I feel like I don't need to find out. I am breaking up with her, but the only reason is because I really cannot have someone threaten me with their own safety. I really wouldn't know what to do if she left in a foreign country in the middle of the night and I had no way of finding her. Would probably end up calling the cops and or feel really guilty if anything happened to her. I don't want to break up with her during our trip, though. The very first comment on here is, she got caught and is deflecting. Yeah, it's gaslighting. Like, yeah, I don't know why you would lie. You could just say, it's a friend of mine. Like, why would you say it's your mom if you know that your partner knows what your mom's name and your phone is? I don't know. That person, yeah, it sounds like deflecting. It all starts like this. We're going to break up because you don't trust me. This line especially is emotionally manipulative. She's trying to increase the mental cost of confronting her over anything so he won't do it. And she's hoping to make him feel bad for her dishonesty. Even if she's not cheating, this is a major red flag. I don't like that this is like, it's borderline BPD behavior too. Is there a block function on Reddit? I'm going to have to learn whether there's a block function on Reddit because, like, please don't ascribe behavior to borderline personality disorder like this. Like, that just doesn't feel good to me. I shouldn't have felt safer. I guess I meant more comfortable. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. There is a block function. Okay, I'll learn the block function later. That's crazy, though. That seems like your girlfriend is, oh, you have to report a user first? Really? Why? Oh my God, these cheating ones. All right, here's another one. Today I fucked up by glancing at my boyfriend's phone while out to dinner. This is a medium fuck up, apparently. Today, or this just happened last night. I was out to dinner with my boyfriend, and before the server took our order, I went to the bathroom. When I got back to sit down, my boyfriend's phone was open on the table, and I happened to notice a message from someone with red hearts. I honestly at first thought nothing of it. I wasn't even trying to look at his phone. It just happened to be right there. I'm not a jealous person. He's never given me any reason to think he's cheating, and we have a very healthy relationship. I do, however... Oh, medium is for post-length. Okay, that's post-length. Okay, my bad. I do, however, struggle with intrusive thoughts and trauma from people burning me in the past. I've been in therapy and I've made a lot of progress and haven't had any major episodes in a long time. But when my boyfriend immediately picked up his phone and says, I have to text my boss real quick, I started to panic. I tried to tell myself I was being irrational. He literally could have had to text his boss and just remembered at that moment, and the hearts could have been from his mom for all I know. So I told myself to let it go because, like I said, he's never given me a reason to doubt him, and we've always had a very trusting relationship. But for some reason, every single thing he said and did after that sent me into a spiral. I started rapidly switching between thinking I was being irrational for no reason whatsoever to thinking he's secretly a narcissist. I don't necessarily empathize with the exact situation here, but the idea that, like, you get, like, so irrationally fucked up by the idea that your partner is cheating on you, like, I feel that. I get so irrationally fucked up. And I will know, like, this is not rational. Like, it's so stupid. Like, why would this be happening? But, like, you can't stop feeling that way. You just have to figure out how to manage it until the episode is over. And it's a real serious issue. Like, I am going to have to do years of work within the context of a healthy relationship to get to a point where I feel secure in relationships again. Like, my insecurity and fear of abandonment is all the fucked up. Like, the one about the girlfriend could be the case that she is traumatized from previous relationships. I think it would need further discussion as to the way she reacted she did. Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird to say, like, I'm going to leave in a country where I have no phone in an unsavory, like, inexpensive neighborhood. I don't know. That seems crazy. So eventually it got to the point where I was on the verge of tears, and not because I genuinely thought he was cheating on me, but because I could feel myself spiraling, and it was upsetting considering I hadn't had an episode like this in years. I didn't want to say anything to him because I felt stupid, but knew that if I didn't talk to him about it, it was going to eat me up inside, regardless of how irrational I knew my thinking was. So I told him what I saw and how I was feeling, and he immediately grabbed his phone and showed me every person he's talked to today. But it turned out that the hearts were actually on a text from me. Before I went to the bathroom, I texted him my order so that he could tell the server if he came while I was gone, which I completely forgot about. Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. I apologized 100 times and told him I truly didn't think he was cheating, but I definitely let the intrusive thoughts win that time. He wasn't upset, and we laughed about it and had a great rest of their night. This one is not, yeah, this one definitely doesn't have an am I the asshole kind of conclusion. It like worked out okay. I'm glad that it worked out okay. I'm really glad that she was able to deal with this. And, like, you do have to, like, talk through your jealousy. And it's good that it didn't go badly for either of them. I have to tell my partner, like, when I'm freaked out like this, I have to tell my partner, like, I don't think that you're cheating on me. I just am freaked out by the idea that you're cheating on me. Yeah, I'm glad that they have the communication. I don't even think that's... Yeah, it's so silly. Our brains are so dumb. What a wholesome story. What else are there in here? Are there any other good ones? We're reaching that 3-hour mark. I feel like we could keep going, like... I don't know, except that I'm gonna probably want to eat food at some point today. I'm really excited for after stream because I'm gonna shower and then I'm gonna put on a cute outfit and take some pictures for Fansly. That's gonna be fun. I don't post any nudes on Fansly, but if you want to see thirst traps of me in goth outfits with some amount of skin showing usually, follow me on Fansly. Oh my god. Do I have a link? I think I set up a link for that. There you go. Yeah, work it, bitch. Make that money. Anyway. The boyfriend is based for understanding and immediately putting her mind at ease. Right. I don't think that he would have needed to show the entire day's worth of text messages. Like, that's a little bit much, but I'm glad that he had no problem with making her feel at ease. And didn't get offended. Didn't get offended by it. I gotta stop biting my fucking lip all the time. I just can't help it. Oh my gosh, I love skin. I know. What's up, Sasha Larius? How you doing? Darn, wish I was hot so I could do Fansly shake my head. I know. I know. Actually, I'm gonna get, I'm gonna get some water. The stream is starting to wind down a little bit. We start off sometimes with like 60 people in here. It's starting to wind down just a smidge, but that's cool. If you haven't taken a drink of water in a while, you should consider grabbing yourself a drink. And I will get myself some water and then come back and we're going to see if there's any more nice posts on the subreddits. Yay. Oh man, the inside of my mouth below my lower lip basically is a loose lump of tissue because I always chew it. Yeah. I used to have braces. I don't really chew the inside of my mouth so much anymore. I chew my lip all the time. Oh my god, my nose itches. We need a hail hydrate command. That's true. Sophie, you're drunk? It's like 3 p.m. right now where I am. What is this water you preach about? I know, crazy. We should have a hail hydrate command with like emojis and stuff. There should be like emojis in it. My brain chooses to sometimes think that people who might actively be choosing to cuddle me in that moment hate me. Spirals like that are for weird. It's 9 p.m. here. Okay, yeah, no, it is England time. I mean, just pick something. I don't have a plan. I would just choose some emojis. There's like a... Do we have one with me holding a coffee cup? Yeah, there's like a coffee one. I don't know. I would just figure it out sometime when I'm not on stream. All humans are water dragons. True. It's Sunday though. The church people have already been drinking their wine. I had this happen? Yes, that's a good one. Has anybody else had this happen to them before with some kind of substance that they have a difficult relationship with? Like, I used to smoke cigarettes and I didn't like it. Like, toward the end, I was like, I don't like this because it's like hurting me, but it's also providing me with something. And that at a certain point, like, it just changed and it just started grossing me out instead of like being something that I was doing because I enjoyed, even though it made me feel bad. Like, at some point it just started grossing me out. Like, I guess I made the connection between the smoking the cigarettes and my feeling like shit. Yeah, so Decoy Duck, I'm kind of having that a little bit with alcohol right now. I mean, I also like can't buy alcohol because I can't afford it right now. Unless I start putting all of my my fun purchases on my credit card and just like, yeah, I'll deal with that later. I can't do that. Like, I need to be actually really fucking careful. But I am starting to get that with alcohol right now where I'm like, I tried to drink wine again recently and I just found it really upsetting. I was like, I have a headache and I'm not even as drunk as I want to get tonight. Wasps can go right from communion wine to brunch mimosas and yelling at waiters. Mimosas would be yummy. Yeah, and now I'm like grossed out by cigarettes. Like if I try to take a drag off a cigarette, I'm like I don't want it. And I also just quit vaping this week. even if I would like to keep vaping, which I don't, I can't afford it. So nicotine is cheaper than more effective ADHD control. Hard disagree, because I'm on Ritalin right now, and I'm supposed to take it twice a day, which means that I get 60 pills in a bottle, and it's like less than $10. You know, it's funny. I've only smoked like a dozen cigarettes in my life, but I love the smell of other people smoking. I don't even like the smell of other people smoking anymore. Like, my partner was smoking a bit a few months ago. Like, you know, sometimes it's like certain times of the year or like certain events that you go to that make you want to smoke. But like, I was like, don't try to kiss me after you smoked, because it's fucking gross. Like, I don't want to deal with it. So I would not be able to date a smoker at this point. I think it would cause problems in my relationship. It would be like someone trying to kiss you when they haven't brushed their teeth in like 3 weeks, and you're like, no, I'm not doing that. True, James. The ratio of positive to negative effects of alcohol definitely gets worse as you get older. Adderall is tastier than cigarettes. I don't really want to go back to smoking or vaping, but like, I feel like it helped and was overall less bad for me than Adderall feels right now. Have I even taken any Ritalin today? I can't remember if I've even taken one today. The cool thing about, I actually talked about this with my psych meds person, is you don't have to take it every day in order for it to have a beneficial effect. I'm having problems with the site donos. Yeah, what kind of issue are you having? If you can get some screenshots together, I might be able to send them over to White Nervosa and have her fix it. I'm not sure what the issue is. Psych care for ADHD would be hundreds a month here. Thankfully, I don't have that problem. But I've been getting... I get the benefits on the days that I don't take the Ritalin. Like, on the days that I don't take it, I will still feel better and like more productive if I've been taking it previously. I can't take it every day. It fucks me up. Like, actually, Adderall did. Ritalin I could probably take every day because it feels a little bit easier on my body. It was nuking my appetite. Sometimes it does nuke my appetite, but then I'll be like, you know, I really should eat, and it'll occur to me, and then I'll just eat because I need to. When I fill out the fields and hit continue, it just reloads the page. Okay. Well, that's obnoxious. We clearly got a couple of donos earlier. Maybe quit your browser and reopen it, or clear your cookies. Those might be options, because we have gotten donos today. So if it's like broken, then it has broken within the last hour. I feel like I have to force feed myself on Adderall and can only eat if I'm having hunger pains. You might just have to try a different drug for sure. I like Ritalin a lot better than I like Adderall, because Ritalin acts on dopamine. If these work the way that I think that they work, which is that they bind to the receptors, which means that you just have more dopamine and norepinephrine. I think, is it norepinephrine? I can't remember what the other chemical that Adderall primarily acts upon is, but I think the way that it works is like, I'm on Ritalin, and so one of the things that it does is it binds to the receptors for dopamine, which means that I have more dopamine in my brain. So like, I think that the main reason why Ritalin is great is because when I do a task that gives a dopamine hit, the dopamine sticks around for longer and then actually makes me feel like I've accomplished something. Like, it's the great thing that it's like, it just actually gives me that sensation like I have accomplished something. Oh yeah, Vyvanse being an all-day slow release thing probably does hit the does hit the appetite pretty hard. Ritalin is a dopamine reuptake inhibitor. Adderall causes the release of more dopamine. Yeah, I think that the reuptake inhibitor part is what's really hitting it for me. Because I'll exercise and then I'll be like, oh God, yeah, that feels good. And like the brain chemicals associated with finishing something and accomplishing something, they actually hit. Ritalin works like cocaine. Adderall acts like meth. I did not know that. I mean, I know that people always call Adderall meth, but I didn't know that. So anyway, are there any... Oh, this one's going to be cute. I need Adderall, but I need medical weed more, and you can't legally get both. You can't legally get both? Why? That seems stupid. I don't know. Anyway. Today I fucked up by accidentally coming out to my dad because I thought I was the only gay person in the world. Today, meaning 10 years ago when I was 13. So this person is 23 now, and 10 years ago... I grew up in Lebanon, where homosexuality is still a big no-no to this day. The legal aspect is a complicated clusterfuck, but what's most relevant here is that it's a huge taboo. So much so that when I was a kid, until I hit puberty, I had never heard of same-sex attraction, didn't know it was a thing, didn't know it was possible. So when I started experiencing these feelings, I was half terrified and half fascinated, genuinely thought I was the only boy in the world attracted to other men. I was picturing myself on the front page of international newspapers as some newly discovered freak of nature. I was not a smart kid. The fuck up happened when, instead of Googling it, discovering homophobia, and traumatizing myself like a normal gay kid, I excitedly went to my dad to tell him about my little quirk. The reason I'm calling it an accidental coming out is that I didn't know what a coming out was at the time. Didn't know there was anything to come out of, just thought I was a brand new mutation in the human lineage or some shit. Obviously, the conversation was super awkward. He just told me it was too early to discuss those things and that it's normal I'm not attracted to girls yet. It'll come with time. I figured things out the same day when I had the great idea of looking it up online and realized what I had done. My relationship with my dad has been, he's been in denial ever since. I know that almost for a fact because he constantly asks me if and who I'm dating, but it's not at all in my family's customs to discuss dating lives. For example, he never asks my siblings those same questions. So we've been playing this little game of theater where he asks me every few months. I tell him I'm waiting until I'm done with college, and he smiles and nods. For better or worse, the gay question has found its way into our media landscape, and you nowadays see it discussed on panel shows, plus most people are more exposed to Western media, so I don't think this would have happened if I was born 10 years later. TLDR, when I discovered I was attracted to men, I had no idea gay people were a thing, so I just excitedly told my homophobic dad about it instead of looking it up and trying to figure things out on my own. Oh no. Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny. That's a pretty hilarious, like the dad is just like, so who are you dating? Oh no. Yeah, torn between finding this funny and finding it sad. Oh no. Not that we needed it, but at least this is evidence that suppression of LGBT identity doesn't make them go away. What the fuck? You can be homosexual without being LGBT, though? I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. I don't understand. I was told by a psych that you can't. Did they just lie? I mean, like, I was wondering if you were saying that there is, like, a legal reason, maybe, why you can't be on Adderall and medical weed at the same time. Like, I know when you go to get Adderall from some places, they make you do a piss test. And, like, I guess they're drug testing you. But I don't think medically there's any reason. Like, I don't think there's any medical contraindication between those two. Some people, I guess, might speculate that cannabis can raise your heart rate, and you don't want to be on two drugs that both increase your heart rate, but I don't think that that's, like, a guarantee. I had to do a piss test. Mine showed alcohol for some reason. That's weird. I think that's basically trying to say you can be gay orientation without being queer political behavior. I think what it was trying to say was that you can have homosexual feelings without identifying as gay and being gay in behavior. That's how I understood it. I would guess that it could be because it's considered risky and hard on your heart to use downers and uppers at the same time. I don't know. Yeah, cannabis is not a downer in that same way. If anything, the things that I see are like supposedly smoking cannabis can increase your heart rate, but I think that's just any kind of like smoking or holding your breath behavior would increase your heart rate. There are all kinds of bizarre rules around ADHD meds. I got dropped from treatment because I have an undiagnosed circadian rhythm disorder and the system here will never pay for testing. Is it like... So is it like your circadian rhythm... Like, how is it weird? Like, how is your circadian rhythm disorder weird? Because, like, I think that... most people with ADHD have like a slightly delayed sleep phase from what I've read. So I don't know, like that would be normal for someone with ADHD. This probably went better because of the light tone. That's fair, she who knows no name. If a coming out is heavy, it can trigger a more negative response. But if a child runs up to a homophobic parent like, hey, I love boys/girls, isn't that so cool? It's harder to respond with the negative shaming. Not impossible, but difficult. That's fair. Yes, cannabis increases your heart rate. If I'm smoking it while wearing my smartwatch, I will sometimes get told, hey, you're having an elevated heart rate, FYI. So, Gayfesh, is that just while you're smoking? Or do you have that same effect when the edible kicks in? Because if you're smoking, like, people when they're smoking weed usually, like, hold their breath a little bit, right? Like, so you're breathing in smoke and you're holding your breath and then you're breathing it back out. That act on its own is going to increase your heart rate. Like whether you're breathing in smoke or whether you're not breathing in smoke. So it's like cannabis cannabis can only be proven to increase your heart rate like if you disengage that. Haven't tried while I'm wearing the watch with edibles yet. Remember when the term flamer was a thing? Not flamer, I don't think. I remember flaming as an adjective. THC is a stimulant, so it should raise your heart rate regardless. Okay. As trash as California's poor people health insurance is, I'm always shook at how much worse it gets. I live in a place where I don't even have access to Medicaid because it's only for disabled people and people with kids. So even though I'm in the correct income bracket, I will never, in the state of Kansas, be able to get on Medicaid, which is fucking stupid. But whatever. Just pretend like it's not fucking stupid. Oh my God, excuse me. Downers and uppers together can lead to OD, but it's not uppers and downers together if you mix weed with Ritalin or whatever. It's like, because THC is a stimulant. Move to Washington State. We got some Medicaid. I'm fucking thinking about it, Tabaxi. Here's the thing. I haven't talked about this publicly much yet. I mean, flaming. I thought you were talking about flaming, like flaming homosexual. Excuse me. Excuse me. Is there another one? Yep, there was another one. Okay. Looking into getting a disability lawyer. Not looking forward to that process. I will not do disability. I will work my ass off. Like, if I need to, I will work myself to the bone and start streaming every night of the week. If I cannot afford to live on this current stream schedule and this current schedule of putting out videos and stuff, I am like, I'm gonna work really hard to stay self-employed rather than submit to the forced poverty of the disability system. And like, well, and also I would have to get divorced. Like, to be clear, if I wanted to get disability, I would have to get divorced. So There's no incentive for me to do that. But I hope that it goes well. The good thing about applying for disability is that the lawyer just takes a cut from your disability checks once it gets approved, so you don't actually have to pay up front most of the time. So that is a good thing about that. But I don't think I've talked about this a lot because it's personal and kind of awkward. But like, I had been planning on moving out to Washington relatively soon, like within the next couple years. Like, and when I say planning to, I mean like, I just think that I have no choice. And so I've just been kind of mentally heading that way. Not like I can't make any gigantic plans to move across the country if I want my partner to be on board with that. You know, I can't just do that on my own or whatever. Who the fuck knows if we're going to stay married or not, whatever. Poppy and Zizi are streaming. Gotta go, love y'all. Goodbye, Christy. Send my love over there. Yeah, in our state, you don't have to pay unless you get the disability, and payment just comes out of your SSI, and it's capped at $6,000. Yeah, there you go. Apparently, it's both a stimulant and a depressant. That's really interesting. Yeah, I'm married. Married and separated. You've met me at a very strange time of my life. So I have been thinking I'm going to go to Washington and get ready to move to Canada because this country is not safe. But my younger siblings need like a lot of help and support that I was not aware that they needed. And I don't want to go into a huge amount of details about this out of respect for their privacy and like my family's privacy in general. But I really did want to get the fuck out of here. And now instead of getting the fuck out of here, I have to shift my priorities to making sure that my siblings are well taken care of. Like I can't leave them here. One of them is trans and the other one has very, 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 very bad social skills, and like they both need like a little bit of like rehabilitation before they can go into the world. And they're both in their late teens, basically. So I wanted to get the fuck out of here, and I still do. I just have to prepare them to come with me. You know, I can't have 2 teenagers as my dependents. I can't afford that. If I can get them both prepared to work, then we as a group might be able to collectively have the resources to get the fuck out of here together. Like, I can't leave them. My plan is to move to Washington after I get bottom surgery in the next few years. Yeah, here we go again with Lux's luxury flight from genocide. I'm moving to Seattle and then to Europe if things get too dangerous for the US in general. Either Germany or Denmark, not sure yet. I don't know about the longer term plans. I have so many issues interpersonally that need to be solved in the place where I live. It's kind of annoying, that struggle and that tension between like, I could have, if I really wanted to, I think I could have pulled the plug when my partner and I separated, and I could have just moved to Washington right now. Like I could have done that. Or I could be in the process of working my way toward that. But I just like can't. Like that my personal obligations here with trying to make my marriage work and with trying to support my teenage siblings. It's frustrating. But it's weird. Like when it comes to the younglings, when it comes to the kids, it's just like, oh, it's not optional. Like these kids need my help. But then once we have all established ourselves, and hopefully the kids are willing to like come with me when we start getting shit together, like hopefully we can have enough resources to establish ourselves as like the foothold. Or maybe even if we don't end up moving to Canada, maybe if we just move to Washington, but we can be part of the pipeline to get people to somewhere safer. to bring people into our community, to like consolidate queer community so that we actually have some power on the ground because there's enough of us in one place. Germany is surely not as bad for trans people as the US, but not totally safe either. I don't think really anywhere in the West is safe at this point. Canada is a pretty good... It depends on where you live in Canada, right? Like when we've talked about moving to Canada to be safer, and it's been pointed out that Keffels was swatted in Canada. So it depends on what province you live. My one rich trans friend lives in Washington State. Is that person, like, helping people? I keep hearing Scandinavia in particular is safe for trans people. It is fairly safe there, I think. But the issue with Scandinavia is, in Sweden in particular, one of our mods is from Sweden, and they have difficulty accessing medical care because they don't really acknowledge non-binary people as trans. And that's like a similar thing in Germany, where I've known German people who have had to say, I'm a trans man and that's why I'm getting top surgery, even though they're actually non-binary. Spain's pretty good. Denmark apparently has the highest standards of trans healthcare in the West. Oh, that's exciting. I think I'm still attached to going to the specific bottom surgeon that I want to go to in California, though. They've kept some of our friends from becoming homeless. That's good. Swatting doesn't work in Germany or in Europe in general. That is another good question. And yeah, for sure, don't go to Canada if you're Indigenous. Oh my God. There's nowhere good for Indigenous people to go. Oh my God, excuse me. I'm such a burpy weirdo. I want top surgery and I'm a bit worried I won't be able to. Yeah, I mean, you can always claim that you had some gynecomastia. Like, if anything, I think that it should be relatively easy for you to get top surgery if you just said, like, I had some gynecomastia and I want it removed. Like, I feel like that would be easier as a person who is assigned male. Our plan is pretty much to form a shelter wherever we end up at in the States, probably with the group we're stick with right now. Unless they turn around and decide things are too much to stay, we're probably standing our ground. Having your community is important too. Yeah, like, if I go to Washington and I find that I really like living around, like, I'm like, oh, you know what? Gayfesh is my new best friend, and we have established some really firm community, and we start underground railroading people out of the country. I might be like, no, I like Gayfesh, and I like my other friends here too much for myself to move to Canada. That may end up being the case. But I don't have that right now in the United States, so I can't say that I want to stay here. Solder Girl, I just noticed your fucking username. That's great. Sometimes I just read your posts and I don't read the actual text. Oh my gosh. Is Europe okay for Indigenous Americans? I feel like there's so much weird white supremacy in Europe. I feel like racially they would more likely think that you are from India. Like, if you're an Indigenous American, I think if you went to, like, the UK, if you tried to go to Britain, I think that they would mistake you for an Indian, and they would still be racist towards you. It's just like the racism is everywhere, right? There's nowhere where there's not racism. Maybe if you're an Indigenous American, you should go live in, I don't know, Polynesia. Or mistaken for Roma. That could be too. Solder Girl says, I think that's why Keffels went to Ireland and didn't care to get doxxed there, because we don't have a militarized police like in the US or Canada. It still was scary to have someone taking a photo outside of her hotel room, but they don't have to worry as much about, getting swatted by and shot to death by the police. You'd probably face issues, just different ones from here. For sure. For sure. Oh, this is fun for me as a person who's trying to... Oh, no, never mind. This is too long. I don't want to read that. I am starting to get hungry, though. So maybe we'll read... Maybe we'll read another... Maybe one more AITA, or maybe one more today I fucked up. And then we will maybe wrap up for today. It's been a good, fun stream. I've enjoyed hanging out with everybody. I'm sure there's plenty of news for us to get to this week. Do you guys want to talk about George Santos this week? Because I keep fucking hearing about this guy, and I don't know anything about him. I have a habit of putting Western Europe on a pedestal above the US. Yeah, the horrendous thing about Western Europe is that it's just as fucked up and racist as we are. Just remember to be careful with your cylinders. Be careful with... You gotta be careful with your cylinders. You gotta treat your cylinders with care. You want to make sure that you don't stick your cylinders inside of containers with butter and microwaved mashed banana. George Santos made the news in Brazil. Yeah, like, who the fuck is this guy? But apparently he's real terrible. I also think that I only pay, like, loose attention to certain aspects of politics. I don't think I realized that Matt Gaetz, who's, like, an alleged pedophile, right? Is that, like, rapey McForehead? That's who that is. And he's, like, in our actual House of Representatives. Like, I didn't realize... Maybe I am just too young. Has this always been the case in America? That we have politicians that it's just, like, kind of openly known that they're pedophiles? And we just have to, like, let them continue going into our, like, sacred, hallowed, like, important places of lawmaking? What the fuck? If you look too closely at Santos, you just lose all faith in the US Gov. Yeah, I was reading some shit today about him, like, he introduced himself under a different name at a Trump pro-LGBT rally of some kind. I mean, yes, a decoy duck. Yeah, I mean, the first half of the first Congress were slave. Yeah. Yes. Was there ever an update on the cylinder? I didn't see any updates about the cylinder. It could be that all these perks of living in Western Europe only apply to the whites. Agreed. Charlie Souza just woke up and dropped in and thrilled to discover that the cylinder discussion is officially canon in the Luxverse. Yeah, we've done a Reddit today, and so that was a user submitted. One of the Hordes submitted the link to go check that out about the cylinder that got stuck inside of a mini M&M's container. Ridiculous. It's almost always a concern. Okay, so Mersh, you're like one of the more experienced and, like, politically aware people here, I think. Like, has this just always been the fucking case? Like, I mean, I guess it has, because it was, what was her name? Was it Anita Hill? Like, whichever justice she accused of wrongdoing and, like, sexual harassment of her, like, that person, that was Clarence Thomas. He, like, is still on the Supreme Court. And then now we have another guy who was accused of rape on the Supreme Court. I don't think there ever was an elected official who was ever a pedo. Clarence, my wife is a traitor who helped January 6th Thomas. Yeah. And who didn't recuse himself from cases regarding that. Yeah. So it's circling back around to the discussion that we were having last week when we had the debate on Saturday last week. I can't talk to libs anymore. How can you look at this situation with the Supreme Court and all of the sexual predators in these positions of power and everything? Like, how can you look at any of that and think, yeah, this is the system that we need to be working within? Like, this system is good. Let's continue reinforcing the power structures of this system. Like, this is why I'm an anarchist. It's just official. It's happened. I just am an anarchist now. I don't know what kind. I just am. I don't know what to do about it. Google Dennis Hastert. Who's Dennis Hastert? Do I need to do this right now? American politician. I just want to point out, I love the beginning of this man's Wikipedia article. The man's Wikipedia article starts, John Dennis Hastert is an American politician and sex offender who represented Illinois' 14th congressional district. The longest-serving Republican Speaker of the House in history, Hastert resigned and began work as a lobbyist after Democrats gained a majority in the chamber in 2007. In 2016, he was sentenced to 15 months in prison for the alleged sexual abuse of teenage boys. Federal prosecutors alleged that Hastert had molested at least 4 boys as young as 14 years of age during his time as a high school wrestling coach. At a sentencing hearing, Hastert admitted that he had sexually abused boys whom he had coached. Referring to Hastert as a, quote, serial child molester, a federal judge imposed a sentence of 15 months in prison, 2 years supervised release, and a $250,000 fine. Imprisoned in 2016 and released 13 months later. Is this dude still... Yeah, he is. January 2nd, 1942. Age 81. He's still kicking. Isn't it very anarchist to refuse to be defined more specifically? True. I'm not saying I refuse. I just don't know enough details. I can't be like, I'm an anarcho-syndicalist, because I don't know what that means exactly. Clarence Thomas harassed Anita Hill. Yeah, he talked about his cylinder and called it Long Dong Silver. People joked about it in the media during the early 90s. There were even porno photos making fun of the hearings in Hustler magazine, yet he was still approved for the court. We just have no power to affect anything. We don't have any power to do anything against anything about anybody. Least pedophilic Republican. Reminds me of the white savior movies over here, like the one where a rich lady adopts a teenage black kid who went on to play professional football. Yeah! Who is that? Who's the lady? Who's the lady in that movie? Yes! There was a Bo Burnham that just happened in my brain. Hold on, what was that? Lord help me channel Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side. Sandra Bullock! Healing the world with comedy. Making a literal difference metaphorically. That's not one of the songs that I really like from the most recent special, but it really did just trigger a whole thing in my brain. Yeah, exactly. Sandra Bullock! By the way, that movie is based on a real football player, and he watched the movie and was like, they made me dumb. I was literally an honors student. The problem was that I was homeless, not that I was dumb. Oh, that's so frustrating. Of course they would do that. You gotta reinforce the white savior narrative. My hair is so fucking greasy right now. I need to shower. That's something that I'm excited to do after the stream. You honestly have a great voice. Thank you, Phoebe. I'll, if you want to use my voice for hire, I'll do that. I feel like if I have friends who make music who want to sample my voice, I would be okay with doing samples for my friends for free. Like, I know that there's a couple of you in chat who make music. Like, I know Gayfesh makes music, and I know that Baphomet dicks around making music sometimes. If you ever want a sample, I'd be willing to do that for free, just to, like, for funsies. I was super upset that the movie made him look so dumb when he was not at all. I'm so excited about learning how to play piano. Inside Was Crazy for real. Those songs are heavy. I know! It's not an easy special to get through. It's got emotions in it. I've gotten back into drawing, though. Me too. I did a drawing in charcoal the other night. It was not great. I just decided to, like, paint or like draw a lute. Lux album when you know, maybe someday. We start with an EP, okay? Can we start with an EP and not jump straight to an album? I did not see the pic that you drew for your friend in the Furry channel. I'm not very active in my own server. I look at the 2 general channels in my server, and that's kind of it. Ooh, I am starting to get hungry. We managed to shove our fibro aside to shower this morning. It's nice when hair gets fluffy. I need a shower seat. That's what I want. I want a place to sit in the shower. Oh, this is cool. I like the hoodie on this owl. That looks really neat. If you're not in the Discord server, you should join the Discord server so that you can see the cool art that gets posted there. Ouch. We use a step stool as a makeshift one. I just, like, as a person with a vulva, you have to, like, get the right kind of chair or step stool for the shower. Because, like, the way that your body is, like, the cooch and the gooch are, like, on whatever you're sitting on, you know? So, like, I don't want to just use a step stool. My dumbass brain heard Volvo. If you have a Volvo, you gotta be really careful about where you put the Volvo, because it might be dirty. And, like, the textures. I've tried to use a step stool as a sit in the shower thing, but it's got like a rough texture that makes it so that you don't fall off as easily, and that would be really rough on the gooch. Yeah, the cooch and the gooch, what a dynamic duo. Sounds like a buddy cop movie. At some point, about like a year ago, I was hanging out with one of my friends, and I said the grundle. I was like, yeah, it's in the grundle. And he was like, what is the grundle? And I was like, it's the gooch. And he was like, I see. And then I realized how fucking stupid that was. like that I was like, that I used this other equally stupid and non-specific word to explain this other non-specific word. Yeah, the taint. It would have made more sense if I said taint, but I said gooch. I was like, what is the grundle? It's the gooch. And he was like, I understand. Yeah, the rough texture is rough on our ass. Yeah. And like if you have like testicles, it's easier to have that, like, the testicles not on the rough texture of the stool. I have to get like a $50 actual made for sitting stool thing. Hey baby, want to ride my Volvo? True. Okay, listen. We're doing Smuggy Chat for a minute, okay? We're fucking 3.5 hours in, and we only have 40 people here. We're gonna do Smuggy Chat for a minute, okay? Because I got a grinding toy. As you all know, I showed it to you already on stream. At least I showed you the picture. I mean, if you don't remember what it was, I'll Google it. Did we ever stop doing Smuggy Chat? We fade in and out. Because I decided that I wanted this one. It's in different colors than what I'm going to show you, but this is the general vibe of the toy that I got, okay? This was the toy that I got. And this is probably the best $30 I've ever spent in my life. Like, the best $30 I have ever spent in my entire life. Just while we're on the subject of textures and vulvas, is a great choice. I highly recommend. If you ever feel like you want to simulate like tribadism, this is the way to do that. For sure. For sure. I was like, yeah, no, this is, you know when you get a sex toy in the mail and you kind of are like maybe earlier in the day, like you were like, oh, this, I'm supposed to get mail today. At least I think that I'm supposed to get this mail today. Like maybe it won't come until tomorrow, whatever. And you're like, kind of whatever. Like you're not like horny. And then you get the sex toy and you're like, you unpackage it and you're like, it's like if you weren't horny, then you get the sex toy in the mail and you're like, it's kombucha. You're like, maybe I am horny. Oh boy. My opinion is that extra soft silicone is the only good silicone also. Like if it's just soft silicone, it's still the wrong texture. I had to walk for hours to get my first sex toy because I wanted it shipped discreetly to an Amazon box. It felt even more awkward. So was it more awkward to have to go get the toy because I was grabbing this conspicuous box in front of a busy highway? Oh no. It's terrible when they don't even do a normal box. This was just a normal box, like a normal, like, rectangular box. Imagine ordering toys from AliExpress and having to wait 3 weeks. Imagine ordering sex toys from AliExpress at all and expecting that they won't be full of fucking phthalates. I bought a huge dildo and it was fun one time and then I just can't be bothered anymore. But yay, that's first experience. I had like a brief moment of thinking I was a size queen and I got, part of it's the fucking texture, but I got a pretty big toy from Bad Dragon. But I'm skinny, you guys. Like, I know that you only see me from here, but like, I'm thin, you know? Like, I'm skinny, and that means that my pussy is also skinny, which means that being a size queen is like, it can injure you, you know? Like, you gotta be careful. When I got my vibe, I was in my room for a long time. Yeah. It's like, dang. Horny or bored or both. I mean, true enough. True enough. It sucks, but then it's like then you have like a fucking $80 or $90 gigantic dildo and you're like, I'm not really gonna use this anymore. Like, but you can't really give it away. It doesn't work like that. I need a magic wand so bad, for real. I have like a rechargeable thing that's basically the same as a magic wand, but like instead of plugging it into the wall, it's just battery powered. Like, it's pretty good. I've used a magic wand before, and they're pretty good. Gimme your thinness. No, it's mine. I'm not saying I'm mad about it. I'm just saying that like skinny people, and it's not just that I'm thin, it's that like my bone structure is orientated around thinness, you know? Like if you come from a family of people who are bigger, then you're gonna have the bigger bones and like the bigger vajayjay. Literally, people need different sized tampons. Come. That just reminded me of the fucking Austin Powers bit. You know, there's a bit in Austin Powers. Evacuation, come. Evacuation complete. Like that whole shtick. I literally dropped 50 pounds in 6 months and lost my gallbladder last year. Still never got my gut to go away. I will always be round in the middle, it seems. There are people who need like fat grafting in order to solve that problem, for sure. It's not just an easy peasy little dinky dink. Oh my God. Speaking of being skinny, part of the reason why I'm skinny is because I don't fucking eat enough, which means that I should probably do that before too long. We have a storm and bad internet, so I'm a little behind stream right now, but we are in Oregon if you need help. We have acreage, but not cash right now. I'm working on that. Longtime fan. Widow with trans GF family. That's really good to know. I'm not going to need like help in that way, but I would like to try to assist in like setting up those pipelines to get people out. I don't really know how, but I think the step one is like being in a community that is working toward that. So, hey, maybe that should be something that we do, since fucking Zonia was bitching so much about how I am all praxis, or I'm all theory and no praxis or whatever. Like, okay, if I'm going to be talking about trans genocide and about getting people out of this country, I need to become a part of the railroad out. Yeah, I don't know, Baphomet. I don't know nearly as much about the surgeries that create the hoo-hoos. I should find out more about those things, I think, but it's just not... I'm just not in those kind of communities where women are talking very detailed about their private parts, you know what I mean? So, I need to eat food, and you all should eat some food and chill out and rest and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Good luck this week in your job or at school or whatever it is that you're going to be doing this week. I will be seeing you all on Tuesday night, as far as I know. I don't think that I'm expecting any weirdness this week, so be good. Stay well.